Like life, like a movie, like a book. So, you know, certain people that's in like the first scene, second scene, and you know what I'm saying, first chapter, third chapter, second chapter, they ain't meant to be a part of your life. You know what I'm saying? The whole ride. You know what I'm saying? They meant to be a part of the history. But they ain't meant to be there the whole time. A lot of people don't understand that, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that and know that. It just they meant to be there for a certain amount of time. Some people be, you know what I mean? Got a little longer time, but everybody ain't meant to be with you, attached to you for the rest of your life.
Big on, man. It's WeTV.
In the streets with it, you dig what I'm saying?
It's WeTV. We really in these streets. Official blog of the North, and that's coming from me, the president.
Going on, man. Real walk by the seat, man. We stand on these seats, man, so we go out.
I got the stick that I'm clearing this.
Let's get right on into it. We starting a little bit late, but we back at it, man. The YSL trial continues, and it's only 2 people standing. Not gonna hold you, being that we starting late. Let's get right on into it, y'all. Let's get right to it.
4 or 5 things to take up before the jury comes in. One of them is the instruction that we're going to give to the jury regarding the fact that we are proceeding right now with 2 defendants instead of 6. I have a proposed instruction from the state. I didn't see any proposed instructions from the defense. Were there any?
We sent that last night.
To Ms. Persfield?
Yeah, 10:01, I believe. Let me make sure it went out of my, it's not stuck in my outbox or something.
Okay.
Verify. You saw it, man? Yeah, I saw it. Y'all saw it.
Okay, well, I don't have it, which doesn't mean Ms. Persfield doesn't have it, but she typically sends me what she gets. So she'll be back with us in just a second. I have worked on a version based on what Mr. Abadi sent, but I'll obviously look at yours as well. Okay, so that's one thing. Then we have our witness list for the truncated week. There's a motion to limit autopsy photos. I guess this is from the drinks shooting. And then there's a motion to prohibit recall of Detective Thorp, which I actually haven't even had a chance to read yet. But if either of those is not opposed, then we can handle those in short order. And then with regard to, you know, when we actually left the jury last over a week ago, counsel for Mr. Nichols had moved for a mistrial, and I had denied a mistrial with prejudice, but inquired as to whether she was interested in a mistrial without prejudice. And of course, that issue is now moot. And I don't know what anybody who's still here's position currently is with regard to whether they feel any entitlement to a mistrial without prejudice, but I will hear from counsel for Mr. Kendricks and Mr. Stillwell as to that issue.
Mr. Kendrick is not interested in a mistrial without prejudice, Your Honor. So if that's not going to be granted,
all right.
One with prejudice is not going to be granted. We're not interested in without prejudice.
All right. Well, have y'all moved for one with prejudice with regard to
well,
what our last issue was?
I believe under the Harvey rule that all of us had joined that unless we specifically opted out.
All right. Okay. Well, that had been denied. So if there's nothing else with regard to that, y'all do not want one without prejudice. All right. How about you, Mr. Short, on behalf of Mr. Stillwell?
Good morning, Your Honor. We are in the same position. We are not moving for a mistrial without prejudice.
All right. Well, that takes care of that issue. How about let's look at our list of witnesses for the week. There are, thank you, she brought it down to me, 3 witnesses who it is proposed not be shown on camera. And I believe the reason provided for that was each of those witnesses works in an undercover capacity. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Any objection on that?
Mr. Kendrick only objects to investigator, I believe it's Stark or Starks, just because I'm not sure why they should not be shown when they're featured on the Facebook page of the APD throwing a football and their image is shown. So I think if there was a concern about not showing that particular witness, they wouldn't be publicizing his face on Facebook.
Well, it may be that their face had not been associated with their name, which is no longer the case.
Well, no. It features his name.
Ah,
I wouldn't have said it otherwise, Your Honor.
okay. Appreciate that. Is that the case?
Your Honor, I wasn't aware of that until this moment. I know that he also works in the same unit as Investigator Flores.
Is that on?
It's not out. As to that investigator, Your Honor, we were unaware of that until this moment, so we're going to look.
All right, well, y'all check on that. That seems like a pretty valid objection, and no objection with regard to the other two. So we can circle back on Starks, who wouldn't be called until later in the week anyway. All right, that takes care of that. Ms. Percival, Mr. Weinstein said that they had also forwarded at around 10 p.m. last night, a proposed jury instruction. Can you see whether you got that? And if so, forward it.
If you don't see it, I can resend it to you.
I only see.
If you don't mind just resending it, it might be the easiest way to do
I'll
it.
resend it.
Sorry, I don't see it.
No worries.
All right, in the meantime, how about the autopsy photos? Have y'all, on the drinks killing, have y'all discussed what is or is not coming in on that amongst yourselves?
We haven't, Your Honor, although I'm not going to say at this point that I believe we need judicial involvement. Unless Your Honor wants to be involved.
All right,
I just saw that this.
Okay, why don't y'all get together and see if y'all can come to agreement about what would come in, and if there's disagreement after y'all talk, then y'all bring that back up to me. Okay, the recalling of Detective Thorp. You want to just give me a summary?
Yes, Your Honor. As Your Honor knows and has been doing in this case, you have discretion and control over the way evidence is presented and witnesses that are called. One thing that, from my observations, has been important with moving this case along is when a witness testifies, and then we cross-examine that witness, you have been limiting the state on the redirect to the scope of the cross, which I think is important. Detective Thorp testified previously as lead investigator for the Donovan Thomas case back in September, I believe, and he was on the stand for several days. The state, through discovery, provided me with a copy of a statement. There's been several statements made. This was around the time that Mr. Stilwell was in the car with Tiara Jones when she was shot. And then he was also served with arrest warrants at that time for Donovan Thomas. There is an interrogation that took place. Detective Thorp is the individual who was in charge of questioning Mr. Stilwell. Detective Gaither walked in towards the middle of the interrogation. But this interrogation was never brought up by the state in their direct of Detective Thorp back in September. I certainly did not bring it up. No defense counsel brought it up. So by recalling Thorp, and getting into this interrogation, that's something that they wouldn't have been allowed based on your Honor's previous rulings. Of course, every ruling is different, but based on your Honor's previous rulings, that would have been outside the scope of outside the scope of cross for them to get into that on redirect. And it just seems to me simply recalling him is just an end around of that rule that we've been abiding by.
All right, let me hear from the state on this matter.
So, Your Honor, with Detective Thorp, he's going to be covering 3, I'll call it categories of testimony. For one, he is going to be discussing Defendant Kendrick's statement to law enforcement that was pertaining to the Donovan Thomas murder. Also, Detective Thorp was the lead homicide detective on the March 11th, 2022 murder of Christian McMiller and Darius Ford, which, as the state has articulated to this court before, is intrinsic to the Chamel drinks because it leads up to that murder.
Yeah, and I don't think the objection is as to that. So what's the third?
So, Your Honor, third is that the questioning, because Detective Thorp is going to be testifying about those first 2, the state's questioning of Detective Thorp in relation to Defendant Stillwell's statement, I would proffer would be 15 to 20 minutes. The state intends to ask Detective Thorp questions, not play the statement, which alleviates need for fights over redactions or playing to the jury. So in the state's legally, the state is calling a witness to testify about relevant admissible evidence, specifically 2 statements of party opponent. And so the state feels that there's not a valid legal objection to keep out relevant admissible evidence. And the state also feels that Detective Thorp is going to efficiently cover 3 topics, which could be different witnesses.
Okay, but with regard, I don't think the issue is as to the other 2. It's as to talking to him about Stillwell's statement from November of 2015, a topic we seemingly already covered. Why should y'all be able to get into that again? Is there something about that statement that is now, I mean, I guess you're saying it's relevant to the drinks murder? Is that what your position is?
No, Your Honor. My position is that with Detective Thorp on the stand, he's going to be discussing both current defendants in this case, their testimony and statements that he gave with them. He was going to already be discussing Defendant Kendrick's statement.
I understand the other stuff.
So the state's position is that him discussing a statement of party opponent of Defendant Stillwell is legally relevant admissible evidence.
Okay, but.
And we have not covered that statement with the jury.
In any way?
No, Your Honor.
They called Detective Thorp to talk about this homicide.
This homicide being?
Donovan Thomas, 2015, January 10, 2015. And they never brought up my client's statement. They never, we certainly never brought up my client's statement. And we proceeded with trial since then with the understanding that they called the lead investigator in the case, and that wasn't what they, I don't really want to go get lost in the weeds. But I'll just leave it at that. They chose not to call to ask about that. Now they're asking months later to relitigate.
All right. So if you had Detective Thorp on the stand talking to him about the Thomas murder already, which you did, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then it seems that that would have been the time to talk to him about Mr. Stillwell's statement from around that time. And I mean, I appreciate, we can do it efficiently, but you already had him on once. So why weren't you covering, why is now the time to be covering that instead of back when you already called him?
Understood, Your Honor. Part of what the timing of this is because of Detective Dennis initially discussed Defendant Kendrick's statement. Because that testimony on that day was excluded, Detective Thorp is discussing that statement of defendant Kendricks. And because he's going to be discussing or testifying about that statement, the statement was in October with defendant Kendrick. The statement with defendant Stillwell is in November. And so the state feels that because he's going to be discussing that statement with Kendrick in October, it's relevant to have him briefly address the statement he also gave with defendant Stillwell after that statement.
Well, that's a red herring, Your Honor, because the Dennis has nothing to do with the statement of Stillwell. He wasn't present. He couldn't have testified to that. So yes, they may be calling Thorp for different things, and that's not my issue.
Right.
But they just can't lump in something that they should have asked about months ago.
So, Your Honor, the brass tacks of this issue is the state, of course, feels that this statement is favorable for the state's theory. Defense wants to keep it out, and the state's position is that a targeted question of Detective Thorp, who was already, we're not adding a witness. The reason I brought up the other matters is because I think it's relevant in terms of the efficiency of the trial if we have one witness covering 3 separate topics. And a 15 to 20 minute questioning targeted of Detective Thorp, who's already going to be testifying, is just relevant admissible evidence that the state feels should not be legally excluded under a statutory or legal basis to exclude relevant admissible statement of a party opponent.
I mean, essentially, if you've been covering this trial, like, I don't know, incident by incident, I guess, which is sort of how y'all have been doing it, then you've already covered the Donovan Thomas murder with this witness. So it is like you're being able to do an in run around, well, gosh, we forgot to cover that on direct, and now we want to do it again. We want to redo. Essentially, we want to be able to recall him. And so why didn't you do it the first time?
Your Honor, I don't know exactly why the state, there's not some secret or tactician trying to be gained by putting this statement in now, to be quite frank with the court. It's just the state, and sometimes this happens in trials where a witness can be recalled to talk about testimony that has not been discussed.
All right. I mean, but essentially that's what you're doing, right? Is saying, okay, we haven't gotten to some of these things, but we'd also, while he's up here, like to be able to essentially recall him as to this other thing that we didn't cover before.
Well, Your Honor, the primary purpose of Detective Thorp, and the reason I keep bringing up Kendrick's statement is because that's kind of, in the state's position, critical to why we're discussing this. Because if he's going to be discussing one of the defendants in trial statement at this present time, because that prior testimony is not in evidence, the state feels that it's important to talk about the other defendant remaining on trial statement that was close in time, because we're going to be, that's the main reason for now, Your Honor.
We'll get to you in a minute. Mr. Shart, how would you be prejudiced by this? I mean, you know about the statement. You are certainly capable of cross-examining.
I hope I am. But I've known about the statement. But the state made decisions not to, and I think it was strategic. Their strategy quite well.
That might be giving them a little too much credit.
Well, it's ironic because Mr. Stillwell said things in his statement that were very helpful to Mr. Williams. And they chose not to put that into evidence. Now Mr. Williams is pled. Now all of a sudden they want to recall this gentleman to bring in that statement. And I've been proceeding with this trial over the last 3 months, under, I think, the fair belief, based on the way things have been going, that wouldn't be admitted into evidence. Now, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but I find out about this. I see Detective Thorpe's name all of a sudden show up on a witness list when it wasn't on the upcoming witness list. And then it's, well, why are we recalling Detective Thorpe? And it's, well to talk about Kendrick's statement, to talk about the Mac, Miller and Darius Ford murder, which I get, but then it's like, oh, and we might ask him some questions about the statement your client gave that we didn't ask about back in September. And I don't think that's appropriate. And I think that I don't think it's appropriate to be able to recall witnesses repeatedly to highlight, when you want to highlight them, what their testimony is. If this was going to be brought out, then it should have been brought out in September.
I guess if I deny it at this point in time, the defense can put on whatever case they're going to put on, if they're going to put on a case. But I think that you had indicated before you had at least some defense case. Is that right? I mean, you had indicated that before. Anyway, if you do, then they get a chance to have a rebuttal case anyway, so they could put it up then. I mean, I guess we could do it that way.
Right. Assuming it was a logical rebuttal to what we presented.
All right. Do you pretty much know what it is they want to be getting about whatever he may have said in November of 2015?
I mean, there's a 120-page transcript. It's an hour and a half, I'll say.
Your Honor,
you going to proffer what it is?
It's not a secret in terms of.
Go ahead.
The whereabouts of defendant Stillwell is the key issue. He states unequivocally he was in Miami.
Okay.
And so on the day of the murder. And so that is the main point of there's no hiding the ball with it. That's the main, it's his whereabouts on the day of the murder.
All right. Any further argument?
It's not that simple because there was a statement.
Did he go to Miami with the crowd that went to Miami?
I think the evidence would show that he went the next day.
Which is the day, I mean, it's easy enough to explain as well.
Right. And so the video shows that Mr. Stillwell saying that he was in Miami. And then there's Detective Thorp kind of unwinds that and says how that would be impossible. And then eventually Mr. Stillwell agrees. So, it's like when you boil it down to a one sentence, he said he was in Miami. That really doesn't give the whole story. Now we're opening up to the whole video once again and exactly what was said in the context, because it wasn't him just saying, oh, I was in Miami, period. It becomes clear that he thought he was in Miami that day. And then when they talk about, he puts himself with Kenneth Copeland in Miami. And then they say, well, Kenneth Copeland was in my office after the homicide, so you couldn't have been in Miami. And then eventually, I think it's fair to say that Mr. Stillwell says, okay, I understand what you're saying. That's not a direct quote, but so that, I don't know why he's being recalled.
Okay, and why wasn't that presented to begin with when you had him up here before talking about either the Thomas murder or when Mr. Stillwell came and gave a statement as a victim?
Your Honor, I don't know exactly why that was not presented earlier.
Okay. All right. I'll think about that. He's not going to be our first witness. Yes, sir, Mr. Weinstein.
Good morning, Your Honor. You mentioned end runs earlier today. If you recall, maybe you don't know, Detective Dennis was the one that was supposed to be speaking about Mr. Kendrick's interview, and you rightfully sanctioned him. I would love for you to recall your righteous degree of anger at this point, but I won't bring that up.
Oh, I remember.
So I'd like you to keep that in your mind while I'm talking. But this is an attempt by the state to do an end run around that. Now, I know later you said that if they had witnesses on the list already and they could go and then talk about things. So we had someone get up and start talking about, lyrics that wasn't initially supposed to talk about more than NIBIN matches. But I don't believe that Thorp was supposed to come up again, and this is just an attempt to get this testimony in about Mr. Kendrick's statement that was rightfully pretty much barred
All
by
right,
you
well,
by you
I'm-
stopping Dennis. So
I
I don't
understand.
think they should be allowed to do this end run, Your
Okay,
Honor.
I barred Dennis. I didn't, but at the same time, y'all asked, well, can topics be covered? If they were going to be covered by him, could they be covered by other witnesses? And I said, as long as there was somebody on the witness list already, that they couldn't add people, but that if they already had somebody on the witness list who could cover those things, that they would be permitted to cover those things. So as long as we had Detective Thorpe somewhere on our witness list again, then I would deny that. So we had that long
I'm not, was
order
he on
of
y'all's witness list again?
witnesses. Was he on there anywhere?
I don't believe he was on there again, but before I make that representation, I'd like the state to verify that.
Well, we can check, Your Honor. I'm pretty sure he was, but if he wasn't, he was on
Yeah.
the main witness list.
Yeah.
The rules of evidence only require that the witness be included in the witness list.
Oh, I know. I don't know if you were with us yet when we had the debacle about Detective Dennis.
Well, no,
But that was a sanction. That wasn't an evidentiary ruling.
So Thorpe was not, I don't believe Thorpe was on the list to come back again. So this is an attempt to basically gut your sanction by bringing Thorpe back.
All right. If he was not on the witness list to be recalled, then I'm not going to permit it.
Your Honor, if I can recall our meeting at the bench, you didn't I don't believe you specified the
Yeah, I did.
shortened list. I think you said if he's a witness who's already been on the witness list, we cannot add anyone. But if he
Nope.
was a witness.
Okay,
on
we'll
the
go
wit-
back and check.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Because that is not my recollection. My recollection is if they were going to be testifying anyway, but they could not be added.
And my recall is the same as Your Honor's. Otherwise, your sanction would be
Yeah.
utterly meaningless.
But that was.
We're not going to argue about it right now. We're just going to go back and check and see. Somehow, not sure how, since the court reporter who took that down isn't with us right now. But we'll see what we can do. And it was at a bench conference, so there's not going to be any watching the live stream of that and getting the answer. Okay, let's turn to this jury instruction. Does everybody have the proposal from the other side?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
There goes salute to everybody in the building, man. Double tap that screen as soon as you come in. The last two standing on trial. Now, once they go to break, I'm gonna show y'all everybody that has taken the plea or and it only been like 2 thugger sightings. Free Young Thug is no longer needed in the chat. Thug is free unless y'all feel like he's still locked up in his mind. I mean, I don't know what to tell y'all on that. Yeah, but Thug came home last week. I told y'all that was gonna happen, and I also told y'all that these last two plan on rocking all the way out. They not taking no plea deals. It's mixed feelings on if Thugger should have even took the deal. But we gonna get into all that. Can anyone remind me why was he put in jail?
Y'all both got good language. I'm basically kind of just putting it together, and then I'll give y'all what I'm proposing. And if y'all wanted to make sure that I can either read them in or y'all can file those as your proposals if you want to for the instructions.
And Your Honor, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Are you planning on inquiring of the jurors if any of them cannot follow this instruction or?
I mean, no.
Okay.
That's not really what we typically do. It was just, I did it because, I mean, if you're asking somebody to disregard 3 days of testimony, that's a little unusual and more than they normally have to do. So that was why I did that in that instance.
Understood.
I just normally expect them to be able to follow my instructions.
When you're through with this, Your Honor, I just want to clarify something with the court.
And guess what? Attorney did. Hold on. Weinstein did an interview over the weekend. Doug Weinstein, one of the attorneys that we're looking at right now, did an interview. One of the first attorneys to actually do an interview while the trial was going on. We're gonna take a look at that as well.
All right, so I can send this to you or I can read it or both. What I'm proposing is, members of the jury, you will notice that certain of the defendants are no longer before you. For reasons that do not concern you, the prosecution of those co-defendants is no longer a part of this trial. You must not speculate, make assumptions, or draw any conclusions about the possible reasons for their absence, and their absence from this trial must not in any way affect your judgment or influence your verdict as to the defendants in this case, or I could say remaining in this case. You must base your deliberations and your verdict solely on the evidence presented, and an individual determination of guilt or innocence must be made as to each defendant. Thoughts?
Thank you, Your Honor. That's fine with Mr. Kendrick.
Okay. Good for Mr. Stillwell, good for the state. All right.
And Your Honor, I just want to, since we're down to two defendants, I just want to make sure that we're still operating under the Harvey rule.
Well, I mean, do y'all want to? Unless you say differently, I'll assume a motion made by one of you is adopted by the other.
And an objection as well, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, and let's see where this witness list is. So Mr. Lee's still gonna we're gonna finish up with him, and he has, I would assume at this point, been instructed not to mention any incarcerations of any of the defendants.
He has been instructed, I'm going to re-instruct again now.
All right. Okay, and did either of the remaining defendants want any sort of an instruction? As you know, we had paused because he had mentioned Quay. Well, he had understandably read part of a post that said free Quay. Anybody want any kind of instruction about that? Or at this point, would it? Okay. All right, anything else before we get the jury in?
May I just approach the evidence room?
Sure.
I just want to.
Laura.
Big old salute to everybody coming in. We got a little late start, but we here. Do me a favor, double tap that screen if you new to the chat. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Content after content. Jerry about to come in. You about to get this thing started.
Your Honor, could we get 5 minutes before you bring the jury out?
Sure.
Thank you.
And in that 5 minutes, maybe we can change that clock because that's going to confuse me all day long because we changed to standard time a couple of days ago and that's still on daylight savings. So maybe during the break we could do that.
Appreciate
All right,
everybody
yes,
coming in.
let's recess for a few
We're
minutes.
putting a lot of faith in our IT department, Your Honor.
All right, bet we got breaking news, y'all. Everybody in the building, do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Content after content. The jury about to be in. Thug is home. Let's see if anybody will mess up this trial. Because here's the thing. The judge just said, please do not mention anybody that is locked up or that is went home. Will that happen today? Will it be a bitter taste left in the defense mouth after not getting what they wanted last week? Y'all let me know, man. And be friendly in the chat. Wherever you from in the world, in the United States, let us know where you from in the chat, man. I'm reading all comments.
It's we in the streets with it. These YouTube streets. Let's build it. Content after content. We on the block. Let go. And as a daily reminder, hit that like and subscribe so you can get the vibes, you know it, and notified every time. Let ride. It's sweet. It's Sweet TV.
And we are back. So this is what I can do for y'all. Y'all let me know. Let me go to the chat real quick. Do y'all want to start off with, I got a video already primed up, or we can get right into it? Y'all let me know. I did build up a little bit of PTO.
Need to discuss before we get the jury in. I'll instruct them and then we'll get Mr. Lee back on the stand. Nope. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the jury.
Fire up your gas, pour up your hot Joe. Let's get the vibes, man. Let's get it started. Not going to cap. Moving forward said lock them all up. Sonya said keep them. It's a hard crowd in here, I see. Let go already. Give it to God. Get this case out of human hands and mouth. It's been too long. This judge is amazing. She understands giving human kindness a chance. Okay, we hear you. We need that sample with the lawyer addressing Thug as King Slime.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I
And then
need to
tag
give you
Metro.
all an instruction, members of the jury. You will notice that certain of the co-defendants are no longer before you for reasons that do not concern you. The prosecution of those co-defendants is no longer a part of this trial. You must not speculate, make assumptions, or draw any conclusions about the possible reasons for their absence, and their absence from this trial must not in any way affect your judgment or influence your verdict as to these defendants in this case. You must base your deliberations and your verdict solely on the evidence presented, and an individual determination of guilt or innocence must be made as to each defendant. All right. Somebody from the state, if you all want to get Mr. Lee back on the stand, we will finish up with his testimony. Thank you.
Play Coach. I got so many headphones. Let's definitely get the lights to 100 before we even get into this thing. We moving and grooving. Salute to everybody that hit that like button. The trial is in. You got YAK Gotti and Shannon Stillwell. The only thing about this, y'all, is these two guys are both facing murder charges, and they both are fighting all the way to the end. Let's see how this thing go for them. Well, so far they fighting to the end.
All right.
Man, look who it is, man. They got Slime. I thought he slimed everybody out already, man. They got SlimeLifeShawty back in the building, man. How do we feel about SlimeLifeShawty still being allowed in the courtroom after he won handedly through the whole trial, man? Some would say that it's SlimeLifeShawty's fault that they had to almost go to mistrial. We almost ain't get a week. I'm going on mute, and as I see everybody checking in, Wilson, North Carolina checking in, man. I see you. I see you out there, North. Yeah, we got Philly checking in and New York checking in, man. Let's go. I'm going on mute. I know y'all people want this content, so we gonna deliver, and then I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up. If you are about that life, follow suit. You dig?
Good morning, Mr. Lee. You can go ahead and have a seat, and I'll just remind you that you are still under oath. All right, go ahead, Ms. Hilton.
Thank you, Your Honor. 38. Good morning, Mr. Lee. How are you? All right. I'm going to pick up where we left off. I'm going to show you what's already been admitted as State's Exhibit 38 NN. Oh, Ms. Percival, can you let her in? Thank you.
Hey, I see we got Delaware in the building. Big old salute to Delaware, man. Wow, man. Y'all watching all the way from everywhere I see. Vegas in the building. Louisville, Kentucky in the building, man. We see y'all out there. We see all y'all out there, man. Camden, Jersey in the building. I'm from Newark. How about that? How about that, man?
Mr. Lee, looking at State's Exhibit 38 NN, if you can tell us, what are you wearing in 38 NN?
Shorts, jacket, mask.
And does the shorts and the jacket have words on it?
Yeah.
What are the words?
Slap.
Do you
make
have...
America slime again?
All right. And what who is the, do you know who's the designer of that clothing?
Who made it?
Yes.
Miles.
Miles. Is that Miles Farley?
Yeah.
And do you call him Slatto?
Huh?
Does he have a nickname?
Miles.
Do you call him Slatto as well?
Do I call him that?
Yes.
If you go by that.
Have you called him that before?
Yeah.
All right. And in that picture, who is the person standing behind you?
Which one?
The one with his arm over your shoulder.
Look like YAK.
You said the look like, is it YAK or?
Yeah, I think that's him.
All right. And the person that's next to you in the tan jumpsuit, do you know who that is?
I don't know his name.
Okay. All right. And then the person who we can't see the face, do you sitting here now remember or know who that is?
I don't remember who that is either.
All right. Now I'm going to show you what's been admitted as State's Exhibit 39 NN. Who is in that picture?
My two friends.
And who are they?
BB and Christian.
Okay. Do you know Christian's full name?
I forgot his last name.
Does the last name Eppinger sound familiar to you?
Yeah, I think that's it.
And BB, do you know his first name?
Rante.
And do you know whose Instagram posting this is?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you see on the caption 2 emojis?
I can't hear you. Can you say that again?
Sure. Do you see on the caption 2 emojis?
Yeah.
What are the 2 emojis?
I don't know what the first one is.
Okay.
The second one looked like a snake, or it might be like, I don't know.
Okay. All right. As an artist, have you released a song entitled Where You From?
Yes.
Okay. And are you the writer of that song?
I didn't write it, but yeah.
So you didn't write any of the lyrics?
No.
Did you write some of the lyrics?
I just said it.
Okay. When did you release that song?
I don't remember.
All right. Did you work with anyone to compose that song?
Yes.
Okay. So did you give input to the writers about the song?
Not that I know of. I don't know. The label just dropped it.
Okay. But before the label dropped, did you have to go to the studio and record it?
Yeah.
Okay. And prior to going to the studio to record the song, did you have some words on a paper? How did you know the words you were going to say in the song?
I just said it.
Okay, so you never wrote it. You just spit it from your head.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a video from that song?
Did I shoot a video?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. And have you had the opportunity with me to watch that video?
Yeah, I think we did.
All right. I'm going to show you what's been marked or previously marked as State's Exhibit 45 NN. Is that the disc with the video that you watched a few weeks ago?
Yes.
All right. And when you watched that video, did it appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the video that you released for this song?
Yeah.
Right. Did it appear to have any additions or deletions?
No, not that I can recall.
All right. Your Honor, this time to say would like to tender and admit State's Exhibit 45 NN into evidence.
You may.
Don't even worry about it. I'm still with y'all. Let me go down fast forward for y'all real quick. Trying to get my Joe made. You dig that? Man, we got Canada in the building, man. Hold on. We got Canada in the building. I see everybody in the building. I see South Carolina, y'all. Hey, I'm from there too. I'm from Columbia. How about that? I see everybody in the building, man. Hey, they better take their time with SlimeLifeShawty, man. We've been seeing how SlimeLifeShawty can get. He ain't no telling what may come out his mouth, so they better slow it down. Hilton, it was you. I'm surprised they even let Hilton get back up though. It was at her hands. We almost lost. Well, I can't say we. I'm not prosecuting anybody, but when I say we the viewers almost lost the viewership to even see this. And how many of y'all think that they took us out so they can do their dirty bidding? Goddamn. Let's be honest. What not happened? All right, let's get to it.
Mr. Lee, I'm going to ask you to step outside for a few minutes.
Did I miss something while I walked away? I'm just as confused as y'all. Y'all do me a favor, double tap that screen as you come in. It's mind-blowing that in so many of these YAK rappers court cases, they actually try using the lyrics of their songs as evidence. Trying and being successful at doing it. Two separate things. They've been successful at it.
Okay, so our first video is 45NN, which is being offered to show that it's filmed in the Cleveland Avenue area,
all the way from Italy.
and then connections with,
since an hour from Columbia.
I think you said assertions about gang activity. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and watch and listen to this one.
Like this, man.
And then you said there are 2 more or 3 more?
Double tap, hit those 3 buttons and like the video. Subscribe to the channel.
Okay.
Which we believe is a party upon admission. That's Mr. Stillwell's music video. And then there is not a video, Your Honor, but a vlog or a vlog video in which Mr. Lee and others are in.
Okay.
Where y'all nigga from? Ain't heard about y'all nigga. I'm good. Where you from, nigga? You from where? Let me call these folk real fast. Don't know nothing about you, sir. Look inside my eye, this ain't no cap or no facade. Where I'm from, them young niggas go down, feel the ride. Where I'm from, don't care about where you from, fuck your squad. Familiar with the paper, we get some bad boys. Where you from, throw your shit. 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 Where you from, throw that shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from? I'm from Bleed. Throw your set up. I said, see where I'm from. These hoes be the set up. But where I'm from, nigga talk too much and get wet up. And where I'm from, we told drunk, we don't let up. Goddamn, where I'm from, the slime underrated shit, the most hated. Ops hated, cause we getting this paper and we decking cases. Bitches fake, we done dog them all, now they switching in trade. The city break, 7.62, I'ma rock crew that baby. 7.62, I'ma rock crew that baby. How the hell boo rat, little nigga, where the statement? Free Lil Shiny, he the one that had them running with that cannon. Niggas clicking up like bitches, watch start acting. Yeah, look inside my eye, this ain't no cop. No facade. Where I'm from, them young niggas go down, feel the ride. Where I'm from, don't care about where you from, fuck your squad. Familiar with the paper, we get some bad boys. Where you from, throw your shit. 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 Where you from, throw that shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. ATLANTAGA, that's where I'm from. South Atlanta, where I stay, aka the slum. I'ma rock that crew, thug and boo, you know the song. They know about tick, they know about Nick, you think you slick, spit his tongue. Tongue still walking, poked out down the road with them folks, he still walking. Still on the block with block life very often. Who the jacket out, he wear life, now he boss. Everything was slime, still. I'm slime, nigga. I ain't shit chain, nigga, shit still, nigga, slime, nigga. I'm slime, Only the guys, only the bros, only the slime fucking your hoe, you know. Only the guys inside my eye, this ain't no capping, no facade. Where I'm from, them young niggas go down, free Lil Rod. Where I'm from, don't care about where you from, fuck your squad. For me, you with the paper, we get some bad boys. Where you from, throw your sick. 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 You know, there's people on this snake, man. Free the guys, you know, free to roll down the road. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I came from them too. Like Thorp, nigga.
Your Honor, the entirety of the lyrics of this song is a part of the order that was filed. In this case, the lyrics order, Your Honor, it's enumerated as number 13 on the lyrics order. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, just as a general proposition, I'm not sure why Woony Lee performing under SlimeLifeShawty, a music video that he puts out, would be admissible in this case against my client and Mr. Kendrick for that matter. Well, I understand the argument that they're all co-conspirators, and I understand that that's a jury question, but I'm struggling on the furtherance of a conspiracy, because I can't believe that we would all take the view and just take the view as a society that every song written is somehow in furtherance of a conspiracy, even if it's written by someone who's under investigation, as Woony Lee was at one time. I'm not sure when this song was published, but to me, just because Woony Lee was once a co-conspirator doesn't mean his out-of-court statements just come in. And in this song, he engages in fiction and in hyperbole. Says, free Shannon, he the one who had them ranning with that cannon. Those words I would submit are part of this song because they happen to rhyme, but just because they happen to rhyme doesn't make them accurate or have trustworthiness or admissibility. And I would certainly object to just playing the song written by someone else that Mr. Stillwell has nothing to do with the writing, the lyrics, the production of, that references him committing crimes with firearms. That seems highly inappropriate, and I'm not sure what rule of evidence would dictate that that would be admissible.
All right, if these lyrics have already been litigated, though, we're not going to relitigate them now. So I think this was covered in that prior order.
Yes, Your Honor. These specific words are covered in the order on page. I want to get cite to the right page within the order, Your Honor. On page 35 of the order, when we list the lyrics that were litigated.
Well, I'll just put on the record that I wasn't exactly heard during that hearing. I don't believe. That's my personal feeling, and I'm just going to ask for, if we're sticking with the ruling back then, I'm going to ask for a continuing objection, and I just want to make
All
sure
right,
my
you can
objections
have
are
a
noted.
continuing objection, and to whatever extent you might be asking reconsideration, there is enough there that by a preponderance, this could be, admissible under the co-conspirator exception. Now, whether the jury ultimately thinks that is the case or not is up to them, but evidentially speaking, the state has met its burden.
And Your Honor, the only thing I want to add is just the portion, and I don't want to relitigate all the lyrics, the portion about Free Little Rod, I would ask that that be redacted from the video as impermissible character evidence. I do appreciate that it's in the indictment, but it's in like page 40 something of the indictment.
Well, the jury's going to have the indictment back with them when they go to deliberate. So whatever page it's on, they'll have an opportunity to look at it. And, you know, they'll be instructed to consider all of the issues that they're supposed to be considering in this case. So.
Yeah, and if I don't have case law at hand, and I don't even know if it would support my position, Your Honor, but it just seems that doing an end run around the rules of evidence by putting something in an indictment.
All right, well, that's not what the law holds, so I'm going to overrule your objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Y'all are not going to highlight that particular little 3 words though, right? Okay.
No.
All right, next video. So that one is admissible and admitted over objection. What's the next? Can y'all queue up the next one? And what's the
real quick, chat, how y'all feel about music videos being used? We are seeing it. This is in America. I don't know how if they even had these type of problems across seas, but how do we feel about music videos being in court? It hit different on it.
exhibit number for the next one?
Your Honor, this will be 47 NN.
Okay, and is this, you said this was a music video by Mr. Stillwell?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how is Mr. Lee introducing this one?
Because he's in the video, Your Honor.
Okay. And this you would.
For the people who don't know, Stillwell is the guy right there with the dreadlocks. You got two defendants. You got YAK, which is the guy to the far deep side of the screen with the right side with the white shirt and the look like it's a black tie. Those are the 2 last defendants as far as this term. Once this go off, there is more people, but right now we focusing on these 2. So the video we about to watch is from SB, who they call him Stillwell, who is right there with the dreadlocks. Let's go.
Be offering as what? You said an admission by a party opponent?
Yes, Your Honor, and this was also included in our lyrics order as well.
And so that's already, okay, so lyrics wise, that determination has already been made. And you plan to play it also because there's something visually we need to see?
Yes, Your Honor, this music video was also filmed at the same, we believe the same Exxon gas station or Texaco gas station, as well as Mr. Stillwell is wearing a YSL chain in the video. They, some individual in the video used the YSL hand signals in the video. And it's only 30
Lord have mercy, we have litigated that issue to death and y'all have shown that over and over and over again. So do we need it for anything other than that?
I believe the fact that they're filming it in the same location, which we believe is.
All right. Can you show that in like a 20-second clip?
The whole video is 38 seconds, Your Honor. So it's a very short video.
Hey, y'all let me know if my forehead is reflecting too much light, man. It's my forehead a distraction, man. I'm just being honest, man. I know I got a big shiny forehead. If I need to calm down, I will.
We're in the same location, the same Texaco.
Let's just watch it.
And I ain't serving no pack, I'm trying to rob them. And I keep a stick, ain't no avoiding no smoke. Drop top, cool. Looking for who? Let it bang when you view. That's safe for you. But you flipped in the scene, I'm on Rodeo. I'm that slime they always talk about. Hash they never touching them. I just beat on murder rep. Pay my lawyer 30 for that. Man, my slime's a butter law. We ain't walking no court at all. Slime, we open the door for y'all young niggas. Boy, shake these bodies off. And I wipe your nose in your femme face and just slide it off.
So he uses other language that we discussed as far as wipe your nose.
Look at the lawyer. Look at Stillwell lawyer face right now. I ain't gonna hold y'all, but look at Stillwell lawyer face right now. He can't believe they gonna. You can see, man, that boy like he about 16 years old. How old is this video, y'all?
There's other individuals. Mr. Nichols is in this video as well as Mr. Lee is in this video, Your Honor. So the 38 seconds does more than just speak of co-conspirator statements, but also other evidence regarding the enterprise, Your Honor.
Can I just ask a question because it's unclear to me? When we're saying the same text code, what are we?
I believe that's the location at 151 Cleveland Avenue.
Oh, okay, on Cleveland Avenue.
All right. Any further argument?
No. I would just like a continuing objection. I know I acknowledge it's been litigated.
All right. And then what's the third one?
Your Honor, the third one is, I guess they call it vlogs, video logs, Your Honor. There's only certain timestamps that are relevant, and so I can point to the certain timestamps that are actually relevant.
And then we'd only play those?
Only the relevant sections, yes. We
okay.
only play the relevant portions. It's a 12-minute video, so we're cutting it down.
All right, so just play the portions that you would propose to play.
Okay. So the first, Your Honor, is going to be 0 seconds to 18 seconds.
Tell me what the is going on.
I got about 24,000 on me right now. I feel like Kobe. 24 shots with them, drop it on the coach me. Before I go, I'ma drop 20 more backs.
We're going to not play it from PowerPoint, just play the actual video.
Yeah, for real.
Whose vlog is this?
The vlog is called A Night with YSL and 4L.
Right, who posted it?
Hold on.
A vlog about to go up right now. Let's talk about it. She want to know.
And is Mr. Lee in it?
Yes.
Okay.
We seen Shawty. We seen SlimeShawty in there. The Slimester himself back down. Hope y'all got some drink.
And is this offering anything new?
Yes.
What?
So it shows Mr. Lee, they're at a music studio. There's a portion that shows Mr. Williams in the video. It shows Mr. Kendrick in the portion. It shows Mr. Farley in the video. And then specifically, Your Honor, there's a portion in which Mr. Lee, in speaking with the cameraman and another individual, says something to the effect of, that's why we put that,
Sir.
that's why we put that shit on a nigga's tombstone, Your Honor. And what we have is a picture of, that's already been admitted, of the word slat across Donovan Thomas's tombstone. And so he specifically said they're actually talking about slime right before he makes that comment, and he does his finger over his mouth as in to say, shh, that's why we put that shit on the nigga's tombstone. And again, we have a picture of slat over Mr. Donovan Thomas.
Like superimposed over his?
No, his mother went to
his actual tombstone has.
We could show you the picture, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I don't know how that could possibly fit with your theory of the case, but it's your case, so okay.
How slat across Donovan Thomas's tombstone? The word. That's the opposition gang defacing.
I know. That makes it really weird. But it's not for me to determine. Let me see that part of the video.
That's going to be it. 318 to 348.
Okay.
Real heartbroken. These niggas on life support. What that was it on? What that was it on top?
God.
Good luck, right?
Okay, good luck. Oh shit, what's my God?
Mount Zion Road on that. Mount Zion Road. The nigga was not at the bottom. She been telling on me. And ESPN got bomb on me because we blowing nigga down. Too. A long child with heart, you know what I'm saying? Heartbroken kid shit.
I got it was out in 13.
Get what?
I refer young nigga with slime.
This shit is in blood. We wrote this shit in blood.
I probably had it before slime.
And we also wrote it on nigga tombstone.
Where your tattoos at?
And we'll stop it right here, then we can show you the picture of SLAT written over Mr. Thomas's tombstone. Additionally, there's a section where Mr. Lee says, we have more stuff than you. And then he says, the only thing y'all have more than us is dead niggas. So that's another portion that.
Deadness?
Dead and words. Dead and words.
Oh, okay. All right, so you would then propose to play those two portions, because the rest of it before then.
And there's one more portion that has Mr. Darius Ford.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were saying that Donovan Thomas's mother had SLAT engraved on her son's tombstone.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I got you now.
Okay.
It's graffiti over his tombstone.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right, so, but the previous portions that are just, it's this person and that person, the other person, we already know all of that, right? So it would just be these two portions?
And then one last portion, Your Honor, that I don't think associates Mr. Lee with Darius Ford, who was killed, is in this video as well. And that's a small portion.
I'm gonna go ahead and answer this question because I feel like they being honest. They really don't know. SLAT means whatever you want it to mean. Fire foul. It really, that's one of the things that they've been saying in this whole trial. But we living in that era where you got everything, I'm not nicknames, but the kids got lingo. I don't know what country you or where you from, but SLAT is just a term that's not in the dictionary that could mean many different things. Let's get back to it.
Portion at 9:08 to 9:11.
You're going to show that, or?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
showing it to you.
So it's going to be the 3:18 to 3:46 and potentially 9:08 to 9:11.
And then the portion I said where he says the only thing they have more is dead and words, which
Okay.
is 054 to 133.
054 to 133.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
No.
We can pause right there. That's Mr. Ford, Your Honor.
Okay.
And that's it.
I'll hear from the defense on those three portions.
That's so crazy today.
So regarding the graffiti, I don't know why it seems to me like this is something that would be asked of Mr. Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he, potentially this could be impeachment, but I don't know why the out of court statement in and of itself would be admissible.
Okay, so can y'all just ask him? Did you, during the filming of some video, did you say?
You're right. I think it is important for the jury to see the context in which he made this statement. This is not just hey, did you say this? They were literally talking about YSL, slime. He's showing his every slime play nasty. ESPN, we believe, is every slime play nasty tattoos. And then in the course of that, literally brags about putting something on someone's tombstone, Your Honor. Me asking him does not give the jury any of the context around how he said it, when he said it, and the fact of the matter is the smugness of what he says about it.
The what?
Why he says it. And
No, I heard the just the last part.
The smugness.
The smugness
of how he says that. And I think that that is important when this enterprise is claiming to not have killed Mr. Thomas, and it is the state's theory that this enterprise were the ones responsible for Mr. Thomas's death, and essentially even after his death, bragged about it in songs, in music, and in videos such as this.
All right, I'm going to permit that.
Could I continue objection?
Yes. All right, if that's the only issue, then those other two portions are admitted without objection, and we can go ahead and get Mr. Lee and the jury back in.
I don't even think all that's necessary, but okay. SlimeLifeShawty. See what he got for us today, y'all. Any more surprises up his sleeve? Is he wearing sleeves? Oh, shit. Maybe I'll do a poll. Y'all finna tap in there. It was interesting to see where everybody was. Oh, shit. Messing up. It was interesting to see where everybody was from. Y'all do that again, man. Tap in again so we can see where everybody tapping in from. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. The trial has started back up with Stillwell. What's up, Nate? Appreciate that, baby. I see you, James, in the building. I almost forgot I can do this right here. Let's get it. Let's fast forward. You know, I like to keep a little bit of, I can talk through that a little bit, though. It's all good. So that's the lawyer right there who did the interview. That's Weinstein. He did an interview. If y'all ain't catch it, y'all go check out Seti Nash. That was interesting when I seen Doug Weinstein up there with Seti Nash doing a whole interview knowing he had court on Monday. But hey, it's 2024, y'all. It might have helped the case a little bit. Who knows? You know, he got to answer a few questions. In the chat, he answered a whole lot of questions. Y'all go check that interview out, man. Seti Nash did an interview with Weinstein over there, and that'd be YAK Gotti's attorney. If you wondering why a little different, because it's a different courtroom situation. Interesting note, if you new to the channel, you don't know, Stillwell right there with the dreads has been, since this trial been going on, they tried to unalive him in the jail. He was stabbed up allegedly, but I can't even really say allegedly because everybody know it.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, Ms. Hilton. That exhibit is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Permission to publish State's Exhibit 45 NN.
I feel you got that. I feel you, but it's flawed out, ain't it? Where's the name of the song?
Where y'all nigga from? I ain't heard about y'all nigga. I'm good. Where you from, nigga? You from where? Let me call these folk real fast. Nothing about you, sir. Look inside my eye, this ain't no cap or no facade. Where I'm from, them young niggas go down, feel the ride. Where I'm from, don't care about where you from, fuck your squad. Familiar with the paper, we get some bad boys. Where you from, throw your shit. 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 Where you from, throw that shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from? I'm from Blake. Throw your setup. I said, see where I'm from. These hoes be the setup. But where I'm from, nigga talk too much, then get wet up. And where I'm from, we told drunk, we don't let up. Damn, where I'm from, the slime, underrated shit, the most hated. Ops hated, cause we getting this paper and we ducking cases. Bitches fakers, we done dog them all, now they switching the trade. The city brave, 7.62, I'ma rock through that, baby. 7.62, I'ma rock through that, baby. How the hell boo rat, little nigga, where the statement? Still shiny, he the one that had them running with that cannon. Niggas clicking up like bitches, watch start acting. Yeah, look inside my eye, this ain't no cap or no facade. Where I'm from, them young niggas go down, feel the ride. Where I'm from, don't care about where you from, fuck your squad. Familiar with the paper, we get some bad boys. Where you from, throw your shit. 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 Where you from, throw that shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. ATLANTAGA, that's where I'm from. South Atlanta, where I stay, aka the slum. I'ma rock that crew, thug and boo, you know the song. They know about tick, they know about nick, you think you slick, spit his tongue. Tongue still walking, poked out down the road with them folks, he still walking. Still on the block with block life very often. Who the jacket out, he wear life, now he bossing. Everything was slime, still on slime. Ain't shit changed, nigga, shit still, nigga, slime. Only the guys, only the bros, only the slime fucking your hoes, you know. Only the guys inside my eye, this ain't no cap or no facade. Where I'm from, them young niggas go down, feel the ride. Where I'm from, don't care about where you from, fuck your squad. Familiar with the paper, we get some bad boys. Where you from, throw your shit. 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 Where you from, throw that shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. Where you from, throw your shit. You know. There's people on that snake, man. Free the guys, you know, free to roll down the road. You know what I'm saying? It's not like.
And we're going to end it at 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Just a few questions. Where was that video, like portions that was at a gas station? Where was that gas station located?
Where, right here?
Yes.
On Cleveland.
Okay. Do you know the address on Cleveland, where it is?
No.
Let me ask you, is this a gas station that is across from the old McDonald's?
It might be the Chevron. I don't know which one it is.
Okay. Now, in that song, you talk about the ops. Who would you consider to be the ops of YSL?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Somebody in the song. In the song, I don't know who I was talking about. It's just something cool to use or say in your song.
What about outside of the song? You said that YSL is a gang the last time we talked. Who would be considered the ops of YSL, the gang?
I guess whoever say they is.
Who would you consider to be some of the ops of YSL, the gang?
Nobody.
Nobody. Okay. Do you consider YFN Lucci an op of YSL?
I don't consider him an op of YSL.
Within Instagram, have you ever talked about Lucci specifically with other individuals of YSL?
Yes.
Okay. And have you talked about him in a positive way, a negative way? What do you think?
Maybe clowning.
You clowned him?
Yeah, or laughing at something.
Okay. Do you recall ever speaking with Mr. Garlington about YFN Lucci specifically?
Yeah, it was a post on Instagram that was funny.
Do you ever recall speaking to Mr. Garlington in a direct message about YFN Lucci?
About a post that was made on Instagram, yes.
Okay. And do you recall what your conversation was with him, with Mr. Garlington?
Nah, I don't remember it by heart.
Okay. And Your Honor, while Mr. Sharp is looking at that, I want to approach.
I have a specific objection we might need to approach.
Okay. Mr. Sharp, I'm going to show you. You have permission to approach?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you have.
Mr. Lee, I'm going to show you what's been marked as 69 and N. And looking at 69 and N on the first page, page 1296, I want to direct you towards the bottom of the page. Do you see a message between yourself and an individual Scarface spelled SXAR_FAXE?
Yes. Yeah.
And looking at the bottom of that page, do you see a conversation in which Scarface sends you a message that says, on God, what them N-words must done? They said something crazy. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that message on February 19th, 2019?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you see something where you respond to him and say that N-word Lucci and some N-words said something about don't say slat because they rats?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay. And is that also on February 19, 2019?
Yeah.
All right. And then does Scarface respond to you on the same day and say, F them boys, I'll have to talk to you in person?
Yeah.
And then on the second page, do you respond, say no more slime?
Yeah.
All right. And is that you talking about YFN Lucci?
I think, I don't know, because I don't remember the post, but I think so. I mean, I don't know who else that could be.
Okay. All right. Now, have you had the occasion to be in a video of a rap song with Mr. Shannon Stillwell?
You said, did I do a video with him?
Have you been in a video with him with one of his songs?
I think so. I don't know if it was his song, but yeah, he was on there.
Okay. And have you had the opportunity to look at that video in preparation for your testimony?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 47NN. Is that the video with Mr. Stillwell that you are also in the video?
On the CD you just gave me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
Your Honor, this time the state would like to tender State's Exhibit 47NN into evidence.
All right, that's admitted, subject to the continuing objection.
And I ain't serving no pack, I'm trying to rob him. And I keep a stick, ain't no avoiding no smoke. Drop top, coupe, waiting for who? Let it bang when you view. That's safe for you. Get you flipped in the scene, I'm on Rodeo. I'm that slam they always talk about. Hash they never touching them. I just beat a murderer. Pay my lawyer 30 for that. And my slams a butter law. We ain't walking no court law. Seem like we open the door for y'all young niggas, wipe show these bodies off. Then I wipe your nose, sit in your family face, and just smile it off.
Now, on the side of that video, on the caption, do you see where it says OG.Bull slat talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Is slat a word that is used by members of YSL?
Slat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does slat mean?
Your Honor, if we were to publish this, I'm going to ask if there's a way we could move that box so that the jurors could fully.
I can't see what you're seeing on that screen, but if it's one of those gray boxes that seems to float a lot of times, can y'all do something about that?
We can't.
I can't even see what it looks like.
It's the podium screen, but I don't think it fixed. I don't think it fixed the other cameras.
Well, this is the one the jury sees.
Right, it's still, okay.
Is it on that one?
We're good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Field.
Fixed?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna respond real quick, real briefly to this comment. It says, I would like to know what he did so wrong by singing a song. What happened to freedom of speech? This all that democratic people taking away our voices, even in our songs, now that is crazy. Well, I want to say this real quick to add to that. You know, everybody had you can speak freely in my chat. I don't care. Just be respectful to everybody, the personals. But let me just briefly say this. They do have the Freedom of Information Act, but if you're going to be a rapper, you can't win as a rapper, because at first you really wasn't living what you talk about. Now we done fast forward a decade later, the children are really living what they talk about, and we still not happy with the results. Absolutely, you better not be speaking no freedom of speech on stuff you actually did that may actually get you put up. And by that, I mean sent to prison. Why would you even want to do that? Why would you want to give them anything? And I mean anything, whether it's a word, because you see, all they're gonna try to do is match what they're doing right now. What we're witnessing is them try to match up what he's saying to actual crimes and saying that key words. I was actually watching. I said it was gonna be brief, but I promise this is my last thing. I was watching something from the 1500s to the 1600s as far. What was that word they was using? What kind of evidence was back in the day? Basically, is with sight. You was able to use things that you can't even see in court. So basically, I'd be like, oh, there's a ghost right there. Look. Oh, it's hunting me right now. It's hunting me. It's hurting me. It's hurting me. And that could be used in court because how could you prove them wrong? Thank God court has got better than that these days. We in the 20th century. But here's my question, or has it got any better?
Great. Blurry, but what does SLAT mean?
It's just a word to use, like lingo.
Okay.
SLAT.
And does SLAT have a
Anything.
specific?
It can mean anything you want. However you want to use it.
Somebody asked that earlier.
Does SLAT mean slime love all the time?
If you want to use it in that way, you can. But it's up however you want to use it.
Have you used that to mean slime love all the time?
Not that I can't remember. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you recall taking a plea in this case?
Yes.
And do you recall filling out some documentation?
All right, I got it, y'all. It was used in the witch trials, y'all. It's called spectral evidence. Spectral evidence, y'all. You can learn a new word today. Go look that up. And I promise you, when I seen it, it reminded me of this trial because it just goes to show you the evolution of the court. The court was made by the people. The people supposed to uphold the court. Court is still going, but we got to ask ourselves a question, y'all. Is justice involved? Real briefly, don't y'all know back in the day before they was basically jailing you, what they do now, if you didn't testify and you refuse to come to the court, they'll torture you. But the key word there is torture, because if you don't make it out of the torture, ain't that a murder? Ain't that unaliving somebody? But you just changed the word, so it ain't the same thing, right? Hit different.
And when you took the plea in this case?
Yes.
All right. And in that documentation, was there a definition of what SLAT means?
I don't remember by heart.
Okay. Will taking a look at a copy of your plea agreement help refresh your memory as to whether or not there was a definition of what slime love all the time means?
No, I didn't say that wasn't a definition. I'm just saying, like, you asked me what do it mean. I'm telling you, it can mean whatever you want it to mean, however you want to use it.
Okay. So just so I'm clear though, is that one of the ways you can use it?
Yeah.
Now, in that video, where was that video filmed?
Can't you put it back up here? I wasn't even paying attention.
Sure. In looking at that freeze frame, are you able to tell where that video was filmed?
I can't really see the background, but I just know it's outside.
Okay. Does that look like the same gas station where your video was filmed?
I don't remember. That's why I asked, can you play it again? But it might be. I don't know.
Okay. We'll play a few seconds of it.
I ain't serving no pack, I'm trying to rob them. And I keep a stick, ain't no avoiding no fuck.
Yeah, that's like a gas station.
The same gas station where your video was filmed?
It might be. I don't know.
Okay. And in that video, do you see Miles Farley?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you also see Mr. Cormarvius Nichols in that video?
I don't know. I don't know. If he was, I wasn't paying attention.
And in that video, is Mr. Stillwell wearing a YSL chain?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And to your knowledge, do you know if Mr. Stillwell was ever signed to YSL, the record label?
I don't know. I know he was trying to get signed.
Okay. All right, thank you. Now, a few years ago, did you have the occasion to be present at a hearing involving Mr. Rodalius Ryan and Damone Blaylock?
Yes.
And were you present in that hearing to support Mr. Ryan and Mr. Blaylock?
Yes.
Okay. At some point during the course of that hearing, did you ever send a brain emoji or a rat emoji to a young lady by the name of R. Smith?
Can you repeat that? Somebody was coughing.
So, at some point during the course of that hearing, did you ever send a brain emoji and a rat emoji to a young lady by the name of R. Smith?
Think so, yeah.
Excuse me, M. Smith. I'm sorry. What was your purpose of sending a rat emoji?
Wait a minute. Let me give y'all the backstory. It ain't gonna take but a hot second. If you've been watching this all the way throughout and you've been following my channel, y'all know this came up in court. Everybody trying to figure out, how did he send the witness a rat emoji in real time? And allegedly, he was in court, or he was either he was in court or he was locked up. But the day that she took the stand in real time, she got this emoji, y'all. And I guess he's saying he did it. So let's see what happened.
She was lying.
And why did you send her a brain emoji?
Because she was lying, and I just didn't know what was wrong with her brain.
That's different.
Did you make any postings about Mr. Ryan after that hearing? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. And Your Honor, I think we need to approach just very briefly.
All right.
Dang, my man said he ain't like. How y'all feel about his answer? He said he thought something was wrong with her brain, so he sent her the brain emoji. Y'all know what that brain emoji look like, with the head blown out. Let's be honest. That's different. Braden said, what the hell? Okay, he should. Come on, Nate. Why he ain't just say, I don't recall? One thing I know about SlimeLifeShawty, y'all, he recalled everything. You remember when he first came, we was like, dang, bro, he was pointing out people and all that, he was recalling a whole lot of things, But that one right there was crazy. That's definitely witnessing. I mean, come on, bro. And what is his deal? You remember he was on the trial, but now he home. You see, he walking in freely is his current situation. I feel like he took oh yeah, we already know he took the probation deal, y'all. He's one of the people that took the deal. So all he got to do is stay out of trouble and tell the truth. So I guess that's why he had to tell him that he sent that brain emoji, man. They must have got him.
How the streets or your environment can take a childhood away from a kid, whether you're guilty or innocent or whatever the situation is. And I just felt like they're related to his situation, that he had to grow up in the streets, and streets can strip a child of a childhood.
Okay. All right, permission to approach, Your Honor.
You may.
And showing you what's been marked as 44 and N, is this the post that you made?
Yes.
All right, and is that a fair and accurate depiction of the post that you made? Does it look like the post?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Your Honor, this time the state would like to tender 44 and N into evidence.
Subject to prior objections, which I think are.
All right. Can y'all approach, please? And we're going to take a quick bathroom break while we discuss this next thing.
tell you what, man. This is the longest trial in Georgia's history. I used to say in Fulton County, I stand corrected. The longest trial in Georgia's history. I've been told y'all from the jump this was gonna be a long ride. And man, it's been given. People are already talking about who should play the roles for the movie. How y'all feel about that? They got somebody doing AI Young Thug songs right now. Have y'all heard any of the songs? Do y'all want me to play the song? I already got it, man. I already got it. If it's boring, go somewhere else, big dog. Let's be honest, y'all. This is crazy. I am just saying, do not want to bring politics into this, but they need to put the money to better use. Let's be honest. Instead of coming after young rappers, get the politicians on that court for their lives for real. We will check out the Weinstein interview again. Y'all can go check that out at any time on your own time at Seti Nash. He's a pretty big blogger. Should come right up as soon as you type it in. But Seti Nash did an interview with Doug Weinstein. He's in a courtroom right now. I'll probably do a poll in a minute. Let me see if I can skip up though. I'm losing. We about to be in live time for real. Let's see if that 15-minute was really 15. All right, boom, we back. All right, so before I bring us back, do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, man. It don't take but a second. The commentary, stay hitting, stay on point. I never gave an inaccurate judgment yet. Even when I said what was gonna happen, y'all seen it happen. It might have not happened like I said it was gonna happen, but I do got new breaking information on what happened when Thug had to go back and they had to take that. You remember I said they had threw something in there, and you remember Thug was looking crazy, and then they went back. Yeah, I had got real time information in the bottom line of that whole thing. Y'all not gonna believe what I'm about to tell y'all, man. But do me a favor, and I'm gonna tell you as soon as we get back. But double tap that screen. You know what it is. It's Sweet TV. That's in the streets with it. These YouTube streets.
It's sweet. In the streets with it. These YouTube streets. Let's build it. Content after content. We on the block. Let go. And as a daily reminder, hit that like and subscribe so you can get the vibes, you know it, and notified every time. Let ride. It's sweet. It's Sweet TV.
All right, boom. So here's the drop, man. Here's the word from the streets. They tried to put in a deal, and I'm talking about the DA office, y'all. Fannie probably did this herself, goddamn. We don't know, allegedly. But Miss Love had in the paperwork that Thug almost signed, and people got a lot of things. That's a different lie about Thug taking this deal. But y'all not gonna believe what I'm about to tell y'all. Don't y'all know they had in there that he couldn't do no music? Yeah, you got it breaking right now, man. Goondini exclusive. They tried to make it to where Thug couldn't even do music. You hear me? Now, ain't that some cutthroat business? What if he would have signed that deal, man? That's crazy. Let's get back to the content.
We'll just probably take her after lunch. We'll just get through Mr. Lee and then break for lunch.
Thank you. We appreciate that, Your Honor.
All right, let's get the jury, please.
And I appreciate everybody that hit that like button, double tap the screen. We already got our 100 likes for the morning, but by this afternoon, I'm gonna need 200. I'm not gonna lie. We can do it early, however y'all want to play it.
Thank you. Y'all can be seated. And states 44, the picture is admitted. Go ahead, Ms. Hilton.
Thank you. May we publish 44N?
Ain't that the truth, Melissa?
Now, is that the picture of the post that you made?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a few moments ago, we talked about you sending the witness a rat emoji and a brain emoji. Have you heard of the term snitching?
Have I heard the term?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Of course.
And what does snitching mean?
Telling on somebody or lying on somebody to make them go down for something.
And have you seen the rat emoji associated with snitching, or rat? That's a rat associated with snitching.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with a location called The Web in the Cleveland Avenue area?
I'm familiar with hearing the term, hearing the word, yeah.
And what is The Web?
It could be like wherever you decide to go chill at.
Well, I'm talking specifically, are you familiar with a specific location in the Cleveland Avenue area called The Web?
It's multiple places called the Web.
Are they all in the Cleveland Avenue area?
No.
Okay, so I'm talking specifically about Cleveland Avenue. Do you have a place in Cleveland Avenue that you are familiar with called The Web?
Yes.
Okay, where is it located?
The park.
When you say the park, what do you mean?
Cleveland Avenue Park.
Okay. Are you familiar with a home that is called The Web in Cleveland Avenue?
Yeah, I heard somebody say that before.
Have you ever been to The Web?
Not that I can remember. I don't think so.
Do you know what street it is on?
On Cleveland.
Now, as an artist, do you all sometimes do vlog videos or vlog videos?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe to the jury what is a vlog video?
Just a video that you make. I mean,
What happened?
A vlog is just a video.
Okay. And what normally is happening in the video?
People talking or doing stuff. I don't know, whatever you want to do in the vlog video.
Have you had the occasion to do a vlog video titled "A Night with 4L and YSL"?
I know the video that you're talking about, but it's not my vlog video.
Okay. Are you in the vlog video?
Yes.
Okay. At portions, do you talk to the camera in that video?
Yes.
At portions, do you take the actual camera and start filming other people in the video?
Yeah.
All right. What is 4L?
For life.
Is 4L also a group?
It can be if you want it to be, but it's basically anybody can use it. Like,
have you had an opportunity to look at that video prior to your testimony today?
Can't say that again.
Have you had an opportunity to look at that video prior to your testimony today?
I think, yeah.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 46 NN. Is that the video that we are referencing?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the title of it, I think.
Okay. Your Honor, this time the state would like to admit 46 NN and publish the relevant portions.
All right, that's admitted.
First, we're going to start at 9:08 seconds into the video. Crazy, man. And we're going to pause. The individual with the white shirt with the cup in his hand, who is that?
You said with the what in his hand?
The white shirt and the cup in his hand.
It look like Big.
Okay. Do you know Big's real name?
Darius.
All right. And the person with the pink hat, who is that?
I can't see their face that good.
Okay.
It look like R5.
R5?
Yeah.
Right. Do you know his real name?
No.
Okay. All right. Now I want to show you starting at 54 seconds to 1 minute and 33 seconds.
Y'all see what they trying to do? They trying to line them up. But he already done pointed at everybody. I don't know what the state doing.
Y'all know we in tour. You better keep your distance. Don't come to no club. Don't come outside. Don't do shit. Stay your ass in your mama house. Baby, in your mama basement. Making beats and shit. Don't bring your ass.
Now, first things first, is that you?
Right there, yeah.
Okay. And that's you speaking, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, look though.
I can't even play. Yo, this is nasty work. This what we looking at is the type of the stuff that we do as content creators and vloggers. They done clipped them. They done clipped SlimeLifeShawty, man. And his words and video is being used against him in Fulton County in real time. Hit the like button.
You got more money than you nigga, more you nigga, more brr than you nigga, more whatever. I don't think y'all nigga got more than us is dead now.
This in your video?
Yeah. You niggas got more dead niggas. Hey, I don't think these niggas got more than us is dead niggas.
And we'll pause right there. Is that you when you said the only thing that they have more of us is dead in words?
You said, was that me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And now lastly, I'm going to show you 3 minutes and 18 seconds to 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
What you say, 3 minutes on what?
I'm going to show you 3 minutes and 18 seconds to 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
What that was on top?
God.
Good luck, boy.
Okay, good luck. Oh, shit, what's my God?
Zion Road on now. Mount Zion Road. You nigga was not at the bottom. Shit been telling on me. The ESPN got bomb on me because we blowing nigga down. Tattoo too. A long child with heart. You know what I'm saying? Heart broke kid shit.
I got ill out in 13.
Get what?
I refer young nigga with Slime.
And I'm going to pause right here for a quick second. You said that you had ESPN tattooed on you. What does ESPN mean?
I don't know.
I don't even think SlimeLifeShawty even know he can say I don't recall. He haven't said it one time, and he need to definitely throw us some I don't recall in the mix. But it do hit different when I guess he on his own. Is he his own attorney? Who representing him? Or is his attorney job done when he took the deal for the probation? Let's go.
Have you ever heard every slime play nasty?
Yeah.
Is that one of the meanings of ESPN?
I guess if you want it to be.
Have you ever used ESPN to mean every slime play nasty?
Not that I can recall. I don't remember.
Okay. When you tattooed that on your body, did you tattoo it to mean anything specific?
I seen somebody with it first, and it looked cool. And
I'm sorry, y'all, but we gotta look at Doug. Look at Doug Weinstein body language over there. His face expression, and look at YAK, man.
I got it.
Okay. Are there other members of YSL that have that ESPN tattoo?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
It's in blood. We wrote this shit in blood.
I probably had it before slime.
And we also wrote it on nigga tombstone.
Where your tattoos at?
And did you say we wrote that shit on blood? We also wrote that shit on a nigga tombstone?
ESPN.
No, we'll go back. You can tell me what you were referencing.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, you just said what?
What you said?
Okay, let's go back. To about 3:38.
Shit.
I got ill out in 13.
Get what?
I refer young nigga with slime.
This shit is in blood. We wrote this shit in
I
blood.
probably had it before slime.
And we also wrote it on nigga tombstone.
Where your tattoos at?
Do you say we wrote that shit in blood and we also wrote that shit on a nigga's tombstone and went like this? Shh.
That what it sound like I said.
All right. I want to show you what's already been admitted as State's Exhibit 4Y. Showing you what's been admitted as 4Y. I want to zoom in. Is that a tombstone?
It looked like it.
Okay. Are you able to see the name of the tombstone? The name on the tombstone?
It say Don. I don't know what the rest of it say, but Thomas Jr.
All right. And do you see the word SLAT graffitied over his tombstone?
Yes.
Damn.
And
So this is supposed to be, you can't probably see, but it's Donovan Thomas tombstone. They were talking about it earlier.
I asked you earlier about the ops. Would Donovan Thomas Jr. be considered an op of YSL?
I don't know. Not that I know of. I don't know.
All right. Court's indulgence for a moment.
Crazy, bro.
No further questions. All right, Mr. Charters Weinstein.
Please, court. Mr. Lee, good morning. How you doing today?
I'm all right.
All right. My name is Max Shard. I represent Shannon Stillwell. Okay, and you know Shannon, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Want to ask you about this The picture you just saw of the tombstone, you ever see that picture before today?
When they showed it to me, I think.
When who showed it to you?
She showed it to me last week, I think.
She being the prosecutor?
Yeah.
Miss Hilton?
Mhm.
Okay. So, and you, on that vlog, I think you're calling it a vlog, you made a reference to a tombstone, correct?
Uh-huh.
All right, and were you referencing Donovan Thomas's tombstone?
No.
Okay. Well, let me just ask you about Donovan Thomas's tombstone, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Did you deface Donovan Thomas's tombstone?
No. I actually thought that was I thought somebody just made that. I didn't know somebody actually went there and did that to his real tombstone in real life.
So when you're saying you actually thought that, are you talking about when you made that vlog? You thought that, or?
I wasn't talking about that. I wasn't talking about his tombstone because I was talking about ESPN, and I said we wrote ESPN on the nigga tombstone. I never said we wrote Slack on the nigga tombstone. I ain't hear that in the video. So I wasn't talking about his tombstone.
Okay. So let me just ask you this. You said you personally did not deface any have you defaced any tombstones?
No.
Okay. Have you been present for the defacing of any tombstones?
No.
Okay. Regarding the picture you just saw on the screen of Donovan Thomas's, or the tombstone that said Donovan Thomas, do you personally know who did that?
No.
Okay. Do you know if it was one of your friends that did that?
I think I would know if they did that, but I don't know them doing that.
Do you know if it was another rapper who did that?
No, I never heard nobody. I never found out or heard nobody say they knew who did something like that.
Do you know if it was a fan who did that?
I don't know who did it.
Okay. Do you know when it was done?
No.
Okay. Mr. Lee, what is your profession?
Music.
Okay, you're a musical artist, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and in common terms, you're a rapper, you're a hip hop artist, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask you a little bit about your profession, okay? Is that okay? All right. When did you start deciding that maybe you wanted to be a musical artist?
I'm banning people out the chat right now. I'm on it. I'm banning them all the way out.
I think when I got out of high school, like 18, probably.
Okay.
Around 18.
Okay. Is that when you started, and how old are you now?
25.
Okay. Is that at age 18, is that when you started rapping and working on your craft, or had you been working on it beforehand?
I mean, I worked on it before, but that's when I took it serious.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about before you started taking it
Okay.
serious. Okay. When did you start writing down lyrics?
8th grade.
8th grade. Okay. Did you, I understand that you, as an 8th grader, you might not have been taking it serious, or as you view serious as now, but if I asked 8th grade Mr. Looney Lee what he wants to be, did you want to be a rapper back then?
I think I did. I just didn't have the confidence.
And did you grow up in the Cleveland Avenue area?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you the only person in your class who wanted to be a rapper?
No.
Okay. Did a lot of the young men and women, boys and girls that you went to school with, want to be rappers?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a common dream in the neighborhood that you're from?
Yeah. It's almost the only dream.
Okay. Now, 8th grade, we're talking about age 13, is that fair?
I think so.
Okay, so we got, and you testified that you started taking things serious at age 18, so we got about 5 years between 13 and 18. Were you doing music that entire time?
On and off.
Is that why you say you weren't taking it seriously?
Yeah, like on and off. I was doing music.
When did you start going to studios?
Real studios.
Any studios?
Told you 8th grade.
8th grade.
It was
okay.
a house studio though, like in somebody's house.
Where they have computers set up and the ability to mix music and record, etc. But not at the level that you get from a commercial studio.
Right, yeah, it was in a closet.
Okay. All right. When you said you started taking it seriously at 18, what changed? What is different between 17 and 18-year-old Mooney Lee as far as his music?
I mean, I was older, so I was able to go to real studios and see bigger things in music. I don't know. And it made me like, I mean, I guess because I was older and I was able to stay out longer or go to studios and stay out late with my friends at the studio. So it made me just like, I mean, I had the time to take it serious. I had the opportunity to take it serious now because I'm 18.
Gotcha. At some point, have you been able to sign a record deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you have a record deal with?
Alamo Records.
And where are they based out of?
New York.
Do they have any sort of affiliation with YSL, the record label? Other than you?
At all? You saying like, I mean, I don't know.
Are they one and the same?
What do you mean?
Are they one and the same? Do the people that run YSL record label run Alamo?
No.
Okay, are they the same people? Do the people that run Alamo run YSL?
No.
Record label. Okay. All right. And what year did you sign with Alamo?
2018.
Okay.
I was 19.
Okay.
I think that's 2018.
How many albums have you made in your career?
Tapes, I mean, 3.
3, okay. And when you say 3, how many songs have been released under?
On each one?
Yeah.
Maybe like 12 to 14 on each one.
Okay. And you rhyme under the name SlimeLifeShawty, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had hit songs?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you tell me what your most popular songs are?
Don't Worry. Don't Worry, Baby Boy.
Don't Worry?
Yeah.
Okay. When was that released?
Like 2020 or 2021, one of those years.
Okay.
I think it was 2021.
As a signed artist, do you perform live?
Yeah.
Okay. How often do you perform live?
Whenever I get booked.
How often is that?
Like every other weekend.
Okay. And how many people are you performing in front of on average?
I don't even remember the total. I'm just saying it's like whatever the club capacity or the venue capacity is, like that.
Thousands is that fair to say?
Not thousands, but yeah.
Okay, about 1,000.
Yeah, 1,002, maybe, I don't know.
All right. Now let me ask you this: as a signed artist, I'm not talking about when you were starting out. As a signed artist, do you have a team behind you at the record label?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they sign? Do they book your shows for you?
Management do that.
Okay. All right. Management does that. How about designing the graphics on your albums and things like that?
Yeah, they do that.
Okay. How about studio time? Who's in charge of booking studio time and paying for studio time?
The label and managers.
Okay. And your social media presence right now, do you have Instagram, Twitter, etc.?
Yeah.
Okay, and what is your moniker on Twitter, for instance? Is it SlimeLifeShawty?
I don't even know. I don't even run my Twitter. My label and team do that type of stuff.
That was my next question. So as a signed artist, are you responsible for the tweets that you put out?
No.
Are you responsible for the Instagram posts that you put out as a signed artist?
Not 100% of them.
Okay. Does your record label utilize social media to garner their artist, you, attention?
Yeah, like they might feel like they know the best things to post or to say.
Is it part of a promotional plan?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. These studio sessions that you're able to have the label book for you now, are those, who pays for those?
The label though.
Okay. And are those typically at night or during the day?
It's really, you asking when do I book studios or when do people book studios?
When do you book studios?
Typically nighttime.
Okay. And just for my education, sometimes when people say, I'm at the Yo or I'm going to the Yo, what is the Yo?
Studio.
Okay, Yo is short for studio. Okay. Now, with what you have going on in the year 2024, with this label behind you, are you able to use your music to provide for your family?
Yes.
And your children?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you view your music, your experience in the music industry as a success?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about your efforts to break into the music industry, okay? All right. In those years before you were signed, you said you went to people's houses to record?
Yeah.
Why did you go to people's houses as opposed to the studio?
I didn't have no money to book my own studio.
You didn't have the funds?
Yeah, I didn't have the funds to book a real studio session or my own studio session.
Okay, and when we're talking about booking a studio session, I think I know what you mean, but I want to make sure everyone does. You have to rent the room, correct?
Right.
And then you have to also pay an engineer.
Yeah, you got to pay the engineer. Yeah, like whatever he charged per hour.
Okay. So back then, when you didn't have those funds, you were recording in people's houses. How about your social media at the time? Alamo wasn't running your social media when you were, before you were signed, were they?
No.
Okay. Who was in charge of your social media?
Me.
Okay. And did you try to use social media to increase the public's awareness of you as a rapper?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me some ways in which you would do that?
I guess my name, SlimeLifeShawty.
Okay. Did you use hashtags?
Yeah.
Did you talk about upcoming projects that you had coming out?
Yeah.
Did you include pictures of you at the studio or maybe the home studio working on your craft?
Right, yeah.
You wanted the people to know that you're on the grind, that you're producing music, correct?
Yeah.
You wanted people to know about you. Okay. Did you include references to YSL?
Yes.
In your songs?
Yeah.
And in your social media posts, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and YSL, of course, is a label that at the time, you're younger than Jeffrey Williams, correct?
Yeah.
At the time when you were trying to make it through, YSL, in fact, had a very popular artist on that record label, correct?
Yeah.
Being Jeffrey Williams performing as Young Thug, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Associating yourself with YSL is in your experience, were you able to bring in fans and potential fans and get them to pay attention to you by doing that, by associating yourself with YSL?
Of course.
Okay. Was that part of your strategy?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. When you were just trying to make it, did you release songs on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, like we just saw a song performed by Shannon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and that song was on YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
All right, and it was only, I think, probably about 45 seconds long or something like that, shorter than the usual song, correct?
Right.
Okay, that sort of short song released on YouTube, is that something that before you made it, before you were signed, is that the type of thing that you would release on YouTube to get attention?
Yeah. Videos on YouTube, yeah.
That vlog, we keep calling it, A Night with YSL. I know that that wasn't the label that you gave it. 46NN, it's in evidence. Is that the type of media that you would put on YouTube to garner attention to yourself?
Yeah, rappers do that.
Okay. Do you do that?
I was a part of that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the only vlog you've ever released to the internet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I never really released no vlog. I mean, like, I didn't release it, but I guess, like, you know, the cameraman, the camera crew that be around or whatever, they release it and name it whatever they want to, but yeah.
But you took part in it.
Yeah, yeah.
You willingly took part in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted people to see you on the internet because you thought that would boost your career and the number of people that would potentially buy your music, correct?
Yeah.
So, in your experience as an up-and-coming rapper, songs released to YouTube, that's part of the process, correct?
Yeah.
Blog posts with hashtags that reference YSL or other popular rappers, that's part of the process, correct?
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about your relationship with my client, Mr. Stillwell. What year did you meet Mr. Stillwell?
Probably 2019, maybe.
Around?
I don't remember by heart.
Okay. You did not know him back 2014, 2015, 2016, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So in 2019, when you met him, would you consider him a friend?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how often would you see each other back in 2019, 2020?
Whenever he came to the studio or somebody was shooting a video or something like that.
Okay.
Or a show or something.
So you just named three things: Shannon coming to the studio, someone shooting a video, or at a show. Let's unpack that. First of all, it seems that you're saying that your relationship with Shannon, you were friends, but it revolved around music. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's how we met.
Okay. When you say at a show, whose show would you see him at?
Their show, when they performed their song, or my show, or anybody who had a show that was around, they were rapping.
Okay. Music videos. Has he ever been present at any of your music videos?
I think so. I don't know. I can't remember.
Have you been present at his?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, we talked, I think it's fair to say you're signed, and you're at a certain level in your career now in 2024. When you met Shannon in 2019, to your knowledge, was he signed to a record?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. To your understanding, was he at that point in the process that you had been years before?
Yeah.
He's trying to make it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get attention.
Yeah.
Trying to get eyes on him.
Objection, that was speculation.
Sustained.
You mentioned seeing him at the studio. In that year, 2019, 2020, that time frame, how many days a week would you be in the studio?
Maybe 4 or 5 days out of the week.
Okay. And at that point, these 4 or 5 days of the week, that's Alamo Records paying for your studio time at this point, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And what studios would they rent for you?
It was different studios. I don't remember all the names of them though.
Okay. What area of towns were they?
Like Atlantic Station, like Northside Drive area. Around that area, Northside Drive somewhere.
Northside Drive, Atlantic Station. Were there any around Cleveland Avenue?
It was a studio on Cleveland, but it wasn't labeled. They didn't book it. It was just somebody we knew.
Okay. What about on Fulton Industrial?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do you know an individual by name of that goes by Mook Toven?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Who is Mook? And that's Mooktoven. Who is Mook Toven?
That's the guy that had the studio on Cleveland Avenue at first. Then he moved around different places.
Is he someone that I guess your record label or an individual would contact to book a studio session?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Miss Knight, could you do me a favor? Could you publish 38 NN? Okay. Mr. Lee, I want to talk to you about this post that the state has admitted as 38 NN into evidence. Okay, Mr. Stillwell's not in this photo, correct?
All right.
All right. Now, I see you wearing a hoodie and a pair of shorts that say SLAT and Keep America Slime. And it has make crossed out and it says Keep America Slime. Who made those clothes?
Miles.
Okay, when you say Miles, who's Miles? Miles, is that Miles Farley?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Miles Farley a rapper?
Nah.
Does he
He
want to try to be sometimes?
He tried to be before.
Okay, but the reality is, he makes clothes.
Yeah.
That's how he makes a living, correct?
All right.
And he sells these clothes around Atlanta and around the world, correct?
All right.
Okay. And these particular clothes that you're wearing were in fact made by Miles Farley, correct?
Yeah.
And is Miles Farley a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and Does Miles Farley, these clothes that he sells, is it limited to only people that are rappers for YSL? Or does he sell it to the public?
He sells to anybody who want to buy it.
Okay. And these clothes that you were wearing today, did Miles Farley, or clothes that you were wearing the date that this photo was taken, did Miles Farley give you those clothes to wear?
Yeah.
Okay. And did he ask you to wear them?
I'm pretty sure he probably wanted me to wear it.
And did you wear these clothes to do Miles Farley a favor?
Yeah.
To get his clothing brand out there so more people would buy those clothes.
Right.
And so that he could make a living.
Right.
In his lane of this hip hop universe, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Miss Knight, could you do me a favor and publish, where are we? No, excuse me, 39 NN. I'm sorry, 36 NN, I apologize. Okay, let's talk about 36 NN, States Exhibit 36 NN. Who's in that photo?
Me and Shannon.
Okay. And where was this photo taken?
At the studio.
At the studio?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you see the words to the right, the caption?
Yeah.
And this is on OG Bull's page?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, those words, do those words look familiar to you?
Yeah.
And when I say the words, I'm saying F-U-C-K, the other side, put them on TVs about my dogs, going on. Those look familiar to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whose words are those?
And lyrics to my song.
Those are lyrics to a song that you wrote?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the name of the song?
Or the love of it.
One more time?
Where's the love?
Okay, and what year was that song released?
It had to be in, I don't know when, but it had to be in 2020, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Now, it says F the other side. When you wrote those lyrics, or when you performed those lyrics, were you speaking about a specific other side when you wrote that?
Specifically? No. I mean, no. I mean, not nobody in specific.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the term drill?
Yeah.
And you familiar with the term trap music?
Right, yeah.
Okay. Would you agree that those are categories of hip hop, rap in the year 2024?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's kind of like an updated way of, it makes people that say like gangster rap seem a little old because now there's all these different subdivisions, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So this idea of the other side or ops, if I were to go on YouTube and just pull up random songs, random hip hop songs released in 2024, would I see hundreds of rappers talking about their ops?
Objection, speculation.
I don't know what the question's going to be.
Well, let me ask you this. I can fix it.
Okay.
In the year 2024, and even the years before then leading to where we are today, has the concept or the theme of ops Is that a common theme in hip hop?
Objection, thing is a common theme.
If, to his knowledge, I'll permit it.
To your knowledge?
Everybody got ops when they make music.
Right. So rappers, you've seen rappers in Atlanta use the term ops.
In the music, yeah.
You've seen rappers in other cities use the term ops.
Yeah.
You've seen rappers in London, England, or other countries using the term ops, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing unique about the term ops
No, not me.
in music by YSL or music by SlimeLifeShawty or anything else. That's a common theme, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just use it how you want to use it.
So in this song, where the lyrics are in front of it, and these are up until, where do your lyrics stop on this post?
So I just my bad. I see what's happening. I had the title. This was an old live that I used, so I had to change the title. The title got everybody confused. That's why they saying Thug Con. The title was throwing everything off, and for the people who my apologies. I did not know that. I fixed the title, and we back. When I mess up though, hey, I'm a man. I'm only a man. I mess up sometimes. I apologize.
Where it say dog with 2 exclamation marks.
It's not my dog. Okay. So from the beginning to the 2 exclamation points, those are your lyrics. So you talk about putting people on TVs about my dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a reference to creating a news report about someone being harmed or killed, right? That's what you're saying as an artist.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever killed anyone?
No.
Okay. Was what you said in that lyric fiction?
Yeah.
Is a lot of your music fiction?
Yes.
Okay. So here on this post, we have a picture of you and Shannon at the studio. And Shannon posting lyrics that you wrote, correct?
Yeah.
And that you are telling us now you wrote them as a work of fiction. They're not true, correct?
All right.
All right. Let's talk about hashtag NSLB. That stands for No Slime Left Behind, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was, in fact, a title of one of your albums, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you say No Slime Left Behind, why did you choose that as an album for 1 year, or the title for one of your albums?
Because I feel like slime is a popular thing to push in music, I guess.
Okay. The Left Behind part, have you growing up in Cleveland Avenue, have you seen some of your friends left behind?
A lot of them.
Okay. Does that make you feel good that some of your friends have been left behind?
Nope.
Okay. 2 Bs. Hashtag 2 Bs. What does 2 Bs stand for?
Big business.
Big business?
Yes, sir.
And that's a phrase that you often say to people, correct?
All right.
You personally are synonymous with that phrase, big business. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and what does big business mean to you?
You're doing it big. Whatever you do, do it big. Whatever business you in, make it big, make it count.
And then we see a thanks for an exclusive AWS hat and for this crazy AWS one of none hoodie. Do people, when you're in the studio creating music, do people bring you clothing and just give it to you to market their, much the way Miles Farley does? Is that common?
Yeah.
Is that what Miles Farley does?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled.
Answer that.
Yes.
Is that what you do? Like, give me clothes to wear, give people clothes and stuff like that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And he comes to the studio to hand out those clothes often, correct?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Could I, Miss Knight, could you now kindly put up 37 and end?
I mean, the way it's looking, all he got to do is just keep saying yes to this attorney. How many of y'all think is he a bit long-winded though? It's 12 o'clock on the East Coast in Georgia. I feel a lunch break coming soon. Let's be honest. I'm trying to see what Buddy got on.
Mr. Lee, 37 NN, that is my client Shannon in the picture, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And
That's what it said. It says ain't nothing more compatible
it says ain't
than a
nothing more
trench.
compatible than a trench, a carbon while in the trenches, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And then afterwards it says, and this was posted September 18, 2020, correct?
I don't see the date, but I guess.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Does it have the same hashtag, no slime left behind, and
Oh,
two
yeah.
B's?
Yeah.
Okay. And I also see on the bottom, hashtag book in riches on the way.
Uh-huh.
Book in Riches was a song that Shannon was working on back in 2020, correct?
All right.
One of the songs that he was working on, correct?
Right.
How often would, you said that Alamo would book you studio time, how many days a week? If you answered, I'm sorry, I forgot what your answer was. How many days a week would you?
You said how often would they?
Yeah, no, how often would you be in the studio?
About 4 or 5 days out of the week.
Okay. And now how often would you see, you said you see Shannon at the studio a lot. How often would you see Shannon at your studio sessions?
Maybe half of that time.
Okay. So 2 to 3 times a week, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. And the reality is Alamo was paying for your studio sessions, but other people could show up at your studio sessions and try to get a little time on the mic with the engineer, correct?
Right.
And try to work on their craft when they didn't necessarily have the resources or the company or the label behind them to support them, correct?
Yeah.
Is that what Shannon was doing?
Yeah.
Sustained.
Okay. Book in Riches is a project that you knew him to be working on?
Yeah, I think it was a project, a tape.
And OTW stands for On the Way, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So back when you were trying to make it, before you had Alamo behind you, you used to make posts on Instagram, correct?
Yeah.
You used to hashtag your projects
Yeah.
and try to let the public know that you're working on something, right?
All right.
And you would want the most views you could for your post, correct?
All right.
You'd want it out there. You'd want it reposted.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's where association with Slime and Slat and YSL was able to work for you, correct?
Yeah.
Affiliating yourself musically with YSL led to a whole nother unaffiliated record label signing you to a contract, didn't it?
Let them cook.
Yeah.
Because you had been able to demonstrate to them that you had the grassroots following that would make you a wise investment for those people in New York, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And part of growing that grassroots following is the social media posts, the hashtags, the free studio time,
Yeah.
the wearing the clothes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard other rappers completely unrelated to Cleveland Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia, Jeffrey Williams use the term slime, slat in their raps?
Yeah.
Mr. Lee, you still with me?
Yeah. I said yeah.
Have you seen athletes wipe their nose
Yeah.
to celebrate a sack or a touchdown?
Yeah.
I beg the court's indulgence. I have no further questions. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
All right, Mr. Weinstein, do you have questions? All right, go ahead.
Ms. Knight, would you put up 38 and then? Good morning, Mr. Lee. I'm Doug Weinstein. I represent Diamante Kendrick. I think you know him as YAK Gotti, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so for you, just for convenience, I'll call him YAK, okay?
All right.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ms. Knight's putting up 38 NN. This is the third time, I guess, you've gotten to see this today. Do you recall where this photograph was taken?
At the studio.
At the studio. And y'all are standing outside the studio because I guess you're on a smoke break. Is that correct? And you can't smoke in the studio?
Yeah. You can't
Yeah.
smoke cigarettes in the studio.
Say that again?
Yeah, you can't smoke cigarettes in there.
I'm glad you clarified that point. You can't smoke cigarettes in the studio, so you're standing outside. And YAK is right behind you in this picture, right?
Yeah.
And you're wearing your Miles Farley clothing, as we've already established. And most of your interactions with YAK were related to recording in the studio and music. Is that correct?
All right.
Did you guys do a song together?
Yeah.
What was the name of that song? Do you remember?
I don't even remember.
You don't
I
remember?
don't think we ever dropped it.
Never dropped it, but you got it on a reel somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, in other words, your relationship with YAK is music oriented, right?
Right.
How many songs altogether do you think you've written before you were 18 and after 18? How many songs you put together?
I don't even know. I don't remember.
Over 1,000?
Probably so.
Probably so. And those songs, are all those songs factual?
No.
Are all those songs autobiographical, things that you actually did?
No.
So even though you came up on Cleveland, even though you're a rapper, You have an imagination? Is that correct?
Yeah, every artist do.
Every artist does, right?
Yeah.
You don't lack an imagination because you're a rapper.
Right.
The vlogs that you go out and shoot, what's the process for that? Can you just explain it a little bit?
I don't even know.
Are you holding the camera at some point?
You saying, are you talking about in that particular
Just
video?
in general, I'm sorry, you can take that down. I don't want to confuse things.
In general?
In general, like the vlogs. I'd like you to talk about how you do those vlogs.
I'm gonna be real brief, but SlimeLifeShawty got to really tighten up. If he want to be an artist, he got 2-3 letter labels that he affiliated with. One of them, YSL, and we got another outfit. He had the OTF chain on again, and he had the OTF stain on his fresh pair of Air Force Ones. You know what I'm saying? You can never go wrong with a white crispy set of Air Force Ones. But he did have the OTF. I don't know if y'all peeped that on that. And if you don't know what's going on, OTF is under investigation on a RICO by the feds right now. It's hip hop going down the drain. Somebody said, man, don't put all them new cats on rap, man. They got their own genre. Let's go.
I guess somebody just record. And I don't know, whoever want to get on the camera, just talk or whatever. Talk about your music, talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. And once that's all recorded, who edits that? Do you edit those vlogs?
Nah.
There's some other editor that does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. You have any input into that?
Nah, I didn't even know it was going to get dropped.
Okay. And, talking about that, there's a lot of people that have input into the vlog, right? But also into your lyrics. Is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. So does your producers have input into what goes into those lyrics?
Labels may make suggestions on what you should say or how you should say some stuff or what you should drop or what you should not drop.
Okay, so when we're looking at lyrics that you're singing, you may or may not have written those lyrics, correct?
Yeah.
Even if you have written those lyrics are maybe the product of input from the record label, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain things the record label wants in those lyrics, correct?
Yeah.
There's certain things that are part of the genre of trap music that might be in there, or drill music, correct?
Yeah, it depends on the image that the label want to push.
What was the image they were pushing for you?
Slime, I guess.
Slime.
Man, wait a minute, Doug. Is Doug cooking right now? Y'all, hold up. Forget everybody who don't like the commentary. Doug is cooking right now. All SlimeLifeShawty need to do is agree, because I think Doug is, and that's Doug Weinstein, who I was saying just did an interview over the weekend with Seti Nash. Y'all go check that out. And he asked a question on that interview, and the question is, who do y'all think killed Donovan Thomas? And his theory is pretty interesting. Y'all go check that out. But listen though, this man said, do the labels already tell y'all he is treading on thin ice? Weinstein, what is Weinstein cooking right now? How many people feel like the kitchen is getting hot, man? We need to open up the windows, man. A little ventilation, man. It's getting hot in the courtroom right now. Look at the look on Judge Whitaker's face right now. She want to know what are you cooking, sir?
Okay. And so there's certain tropes, there's certain things that need to be in there, correct? And the label wants you to have those in there.
Objection, speculation.
Well, from your experience, does the label want you to have certain things in those lyrics?
I would think so. Yeah.
That right.
Okay.
Yeah, open up the window real quick. Yeah, for sure. It's getting hot.
All right. I have no more questions for you.
Done.
Thank you very much.
Redirect.
Yes, Your Honor. May we approach the court?
You may.
Got Kendrick. Still fighting. The state has questions. We're going to see what they got to say. And hopefully they go to, okay, it's coming up. Okay. So, yeah, let me go to the chat real quick while they do that. How many of y'all think Weinstein was cooking just now? How many of y'all think SlimeLifeShawty a rat? I say those were questions that make sense to me. Jordan said Wright waited his whole life for this moment looking at him. No, why y'all doing it like that? What charges is he fighting? The RICO Act or something? He fighting. He also the person who's on the stand right now is also fighting the RICO. But pled guilty and took probation and time served.
Now, Mr. Lee,
I believe 10 years probation.
you talked about being signed to Alamo Records. Are you signed to a subsidiary of Alamo Records?
Can you repeat that?
Yes. Are you signed to a subsidiary of Alamo Records?
What does that mean?
And see, I know you about to ask that, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all, but this is the problem with these dang on labels and they signing the young folk. They don't know what the dang on deals mean. Let's be honest. 80% of your favorite rappers do not know what the deal even means. They don't know what them words on that paper mean. And this is why you need about 2 or 3 lawyers if you want to be in not just rap, but music, acting, and all that. You got to know about the contracts and the words.
Are you signed to OTF?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been signed to OTF?
No.
I swear this is the last one. He said no with a quickness. Again, I just told y'all OTF indicted. No one wants to be a part of OTF. I'm surprised she even asked that.
In one of your pictures, you're wearing an OTF chain. What is that chain for?
I was gifted that chain.
No.
I never signed no paperwork with OTF.
Is OTF affiliated with Alamo?
On paper, I don't know, but they have an OTF artist that's signed to them.
Okay. And who is that artist?
Look.
Ooh, sheesh. Lord have mercy, y'all. Lord have mercy, man. We can get the lights up some more. He almost did it again. SlimeLifeShawty almost did it again.
It's we in the streets with it. These YouTube streets. Let's build it. Content after content. We on the block. Lego.
It's the shit that you live for, the shit you die for, beliefs that you believe in, the shit you ride for. They manage your time so you have no time for removing your blindfold. Cause you see with your eyes closed, I see with my eyes closed. You see with your eyes closed, I see with my eyes closed. You see with your eyes closed, I see with my eyes closed. You see with your eyes closed, I see with my eyes closed. You see with your eyes closed.
Yes.
Oh, Your Honor, I'll withdraw.
Okay.
Whoa. Did you see the squirmage? Did you see the DA squirming? He almost flew out his chair. They better get SlimeLifeShawty together over there before he slime the rest of the trial out. Lord have mercy. Don't mention that man name in this courtroom, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. In the streets with the TV, man. Thank you for hitting that like button.
Now, with Alamo Records, does Alamo Records have any specific colors that they represent?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
You're currently signed to Alamo, correct?
Yeah, you said colors though, right?
Yeah. Do they have any colors, specific colors?
Like in the office, what they wear, or what the artist should wear?
Do they have any colors specific to Alamo Records?
I think orange.
Okay. Do you have any hand signs specific to Alamo Records?
I don't know. Maybe an A sign.
Okay.
I don't know.
Does Alamo Records have any words like slat or slime related to their record label?
I think they just say Alamo.
Okay. Now, you were asked some questions on cross-examinations about your managers kind of running your social media and things of that nature. Do your managers run your direct messages to other YSL members?
Not that I know of, no.
So when you have the direct messages, is that you responding back and forth to individuals?
To people I know?
Yes.
Probably so.
They talk, I think you were asked questions about managers kind of promoting your identity.
Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. We had the part of that show. I had to look it up. Alamo Records, previously known as Cold Heat Records, is an American record label that was founded in 2016 by American music industry executive Todd Moskowitz. You hear me? This is currently owned by Sony Music. The label, which is based in New York City, holds 34 artists, including Rod Wave and Lil Durk. That I can say it. He should not say it. But that's a whole nother bill. Man, listen, the eatings are good right now, but it's hip hop culture versus deaf culture, man. And I can explain it all. So hit that subscribe button.
Or who you're trying to be on social media? Do your managers control the words that come out of your mouth?
Not the words come out my mouth, but they control the what is it called? When you upload something, the captions.
Okay, but not the words that come out your mouth.
No.
You were asked about using YSL to gain notoriety. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall when you and I first started talking, probably a week and a half ago, that you said that you actually became affiliated with YSL because your music was already popping and they noticed it?
I said that's how I became an affiliate of, being around YSL, yeah.
So if your music came first, how is it that you were hashtagging YSL to gain more notoriety?
Because that's who I wanted to be signed to.
And you still aren't signed to them, correct?
No.
And you still represent YSL, is that fair?
I guess.
Is Miles Farley, excuse me, let me ask you this. How often have you been around Miles Farley?
All my life.
Okay. And are you aware if he has a tattoo on the back of his neck that is ESPN?
I don't know.
In big red letters?
I don't know. I don't remember if he do or not.
And is Miles Farley a member of YSL, to your knowledge?
If he say he is.
I'm asking you.
I don't know if he claim he is or not.
But he's the one that's making all the Make America Slime clothing?
Yes.
And slime is language that is used by YSL members?
Yes. But you don't have to be YSL to say slime.
Right. But he's not just saying it, he's making clothing for it, right?
Right.
All right. Now, there was a lot of questioning about ops being a common theme in rap music, in music generally. Do you remember that line of questioning?
Yeah.
And speaking about the ops, is that usually someone of an opposition to whoever's rapping about it in the music that you've heard?
Can you say it again?
Sure. would you agree with me that when they're talking about ops in rap music or any genre, they're speaking about someone opposite of them, whether it's an enemy or another group or someone feuding, it's someone opposite of the person rapping?
Can be a baby mama or something. A lot of people make diss songs and talking about the baby mama, whoever you want to talk about your op here.
So even in that example, if the op is the baby mama, at that point in time, those two people are in disagreement with each other. Is that fair to say?
I guess. I don't know.
And with some of the songs that you've heard that talk about ops, in those instances, are you aware of people who are part of maybe that rappers groups actually committing violence against the ops?
Hold on, say it again.
Sure. So they asked you about rappers who talk about the ops. Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
In those songs, if the rappers are talking about the ops, are you aware if there has been any violence towards the ops that they are referring or talking about?
In the songs, I don't know.
I'm not sure if we're talking about a specific example or.
Sustained. He said he doesn't know anyway.
Sure. When you were asked about,
Go ahead and
And
ask
what,
your next.
what song? Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just ask your next question.
you were asked about whether you've seen athletes use the word slime or slat and wipe their nose. Do you remember being asked that question?
Yeah.
The athletes that you were thinking of, are any of them associated with the gang YSL?
I don't know what they're associated with.
Have you seen any of the athletes that you were thinking of in the Cleveland Avenue neighborhood?
I don't remember. I didn't see them on Cleveland. I just see them online doing it.
Okay. Now, you were asked about whether your songs are fictional. Do you remember being asked a series of questions about that?
Yes.
All right. In the song that we played, Where You From, do you talk about Cleveland Avenue?
Yeah, I think I said I'm from Cleveland Avenue.
Is that a fiction that you're from Cleveland Avenue?
No.
Huh?
No.
Okay. You talk about Little Rod in that song. Is that a real person?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's not fiction. Is that fair to say?
No.
Okay. You also talk about Big Boo in that song. Is that a real person?
Yeah, he a real person.
All right. You talk about Woody in that song. Is that real?
Is he a real person?
Yes.
Yeah, he a real person.
All right. You talk about Poke in that song. Is Poke a real person?
Yeah.
Okay. You talk about Shannon in that song. Is that a real person?
Yeah, he a real person.
You talk about Took in that song. Is that a real person?
Yeah.
So would you say that that song specifically is not a song that is fictional?
That's I'll withdraw my objection.
Answer.
Yeah, you can answer that.
Can you ask this question again?
Sure. So would you say that there's portions of that song that are not fictional?
There is certain parts, like I guess the names are not fake.
Mm-hmm. You talked about Boo being called a rat. Is that something that was fictional?
Him being a rat is fictional?
Being
or him
called a rat.
Yeah.
Yes, that is fictional that he was called a rat?
He was called a rat.
So that's true.
Right.
Court's indulgence for in your experience, or to your knowledge, do some rappers rap about their lived experiences or rap about crimes that they have committed in the past?
You said, do they rap about the crimes they have committed in the past?
Yes, to your knowledge.
I don't know if it's real or fake, what they did in their past or not. I don't know.
Court's indulgence for a moment. No further questions.
All right, any recalls?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lee, you are free to go. We'll go ahead and take our lunch break right now. Let's plan to be back at, I think we can be back at 1:15. All right, with regard to timing, I haven't heard back from the other court, but they know we want Dr. Sullivan.
They're finished.
Okay, great, thanks. And then hopefully we'll hear over the lunch break from Ms. Winfrey about that bench conference. So I'll update y'all when we return, assuming I've got that information by then. All right, see y'all back in an hour.
All right, y'all. So, boom. Before I release y'all, I want to show y'all something real quick. Law and Crime hat. I'm pulling it up right now, so y'all can get a clearer understanding of how many people already pled out. So we about to watch the co-defendants who rejected or took the plea real quick. Actually, it ain't quick, but it ain't quick at all. It ain't quick. It's 2 hours. But it's really the front part I want to show y'all. It's really this first part I want to show y'all real quick before we get up out of here. Now, what we're looking at right now is the beginning. And these are the co-defendants who rejected. So you can kind of see a bit clear how many people is involved in this. Y'all remember him? That's Buddy who got into it with Officer Megamind, who ended up shooting the officer. And now we understood why he played out so early last time. Hold on, is it no sound? Yeah, it ain't started yet. As you can see, you got Glanville in there. I tell you what, I'm gonna do this in a different live because we ain't got much time, man. Y'all go out there and enjoy your lunch real quick. I'll see y'all right back when we restart. You dig? Because I want to go ahead and prep that up the right way. But if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. I'm show y'all one more time. So listen, before we get up out of here, at the end of the day, here's the executive, the money behind all of it. I think Weinstein was definitely trying to shed some light on the fact that, or maybe he was just reaching. Everybody gonna have their own opinion, but this is who I was talking about. Now, you can see here that he used to manage Gucci. and 300, that's Lil Durk label. So these labels are underneath him, and this man been doing what he been doing, it seems like all his life when I was looking him up, y'all. Worked with Sonny back in the days. Right now, he got 2 major labels. So how do we feel about these guys signing these contracts, getting paid whatever, different dollar amounts to promote, let's be honest, violence? We ain't gonna say all the music is violence, but we can honestly say from what they been painting and from what we just know to be true, man, not all hip hop is getting like this, but there is an era where the kids was going crazy with the drill music. And let's just be honest, guys like this guy right here who paved the way. You dig? So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Everything is fair. You should already know that. And I'm gonna see y'all good folks back here when court resumes. I appreciate you. No doubt.
Real talk, what you gonna do when the pressure on? Fans listening, this tap you dead wrong. Real no, trap nigga, getting money. Bitch, I'm plugged in, I get back in, you can't friend me. I've been hustling all night, yeah. Baby, I've been hustling all night, yeah. Baby, I've been hustling all night.
I've been grinding and hustling, trying to keep the money coming.
I'm real dope boy shit, I love that money motion. I'm outside early in the morning, ain't no birds chirping. Everything coming off the scale, you know that clock working. That nigga be hanging, frustrating, that shit monkey.
Got some haters in my circle, don't want to see me make it.
This shit get wicked in the city, but you living fast.
Yeah, I'm going up like stairs, from in locked up chairs. They act like they was there.
You gotta read your P's and Q's or get left on the news. Gotta pay attention in the trenches. Gotta listen in the trenches. Gotta be aware of your surroundings when you're thugging in the trenches.
Streets I stay 10 toes. Big money it never fold. Mingle gang you'll get down low. Street bay pull up UFO. In the hop I jump like a toad. Backwood it green like mold. Eliante diamond they froze. Thank God for the life I chose. Got the heart of a lion. No I ain't having no fear.